There is a reason you are here, hearing these words. Not by accident, not by chance, but by divine selection. Out of the multitudes who scroll, skim, and doubt, only 1 in 100 is appointed to receive that transforms. The rest will dismiss, disbelieve, or delay. But you, beloved soul, are the 1% the Spirit has called. For you are not searching blindly. You have heard the faint knock of intuition at the door of your heart, and today, I tell you plainly, this is your appointed hour. This is the moment the law moves invisibly in your favor. I now speak the word. Your wealth is already here. It is not waiting in a distant year. It is not delayed by market trends or man-made limitations. It is present in substance, waiting to be spoken into form. For what you speak, you shape, and what you dare to claim with boldness, the universe rushes to bring. The law does not favor the timid. It answers the fearless. The divine plan of your life includes overflow, and no person, past, or pattern can stop it. Unless you yourself cancel the call with doubt. You must know, and know boldly, that you are already wealthy in spirit. You are a millionaire in vibration. The treasure house of your subconscious mind is filled with gold. Speak the word that opens it. I am rich in mind, rich in truth, and rich in manifestation. The game of life is a game of boomerangs. What you throw with your words returns to you multiplied. So you must throw forth the language of increase, not lack. You must cast away the old spells of, I can't, I never, and I'm afraid. For these are the chants of poverty and delay. You are not called to survive, you are called to thrive. The law cannot lie, and it cannot be mocked. It brings you not what you wish, but what you claim. And so, I ask you, what have you been claiming? If your bank account reflects struggle, it is because your speech has entertained fear. If your days feel tight and narrow, it is because your thoughts have bowed to the God of limitation. But I now speak the word that breaks that bondage. There is no lack in divine mind. I now receive from the infinite storehouse. There is a supply for every demand. There is gold for every goal. There is no closed door in spirit, only closed minds, but yours is opening. Even now as you receive this, the gate of wealth swings wider, for wealth is not first money in hand, it is truth in heart. And the truth is this, you were never meant to earn every peso, dollar, or pound through toil alone. You are meant to attract it through alignment. As the eagle does not flap in frenzy but soars on wind, so you must rise in consciousness and allow the winds of divine substance to carry you. This is not fantasy. This is not mysticism. This is law, and law is exact. If you sow abundance in word, you will reap abundance in experience. You cannot be excluded from prosperity if you speak as one who already has it. Say now with boldness, I walk in the vibration of millions. I dwell in the atmosphere of overflow. I receive by right of consciousness. There are those who scoff at such speech, who say, be realistic. But what they call realistic is often just recycled fear. Do not be numbered among them. The crowd will always follow the scene. But you, child of truth, are called to walk by the unseen. For the unseen is the parent of the seen, and the word you speak is the bridge between them. Your word is your wand. What you decree becomes the shape of your experience. So dare to decree riches, dare to decree opportunities, dare to decree ease and joy and lavish supply, for only the bold inherit the treasures of spirit. You are not here to repeat history. You are here to rewrite it. You are not here to echo the patterns of your parents or peers. You are here to establish new ones, richer, freer, more aligned with the God who made you. And that God is not poor, that God is not stingy, that God is not confused. The God within you is all-knowing, all-providing, all-wealth. And that God now speaks through you, declaring, I am the millionaire vibration. I do not chase. I attract. I do not beg. I command. The shift has already begun. You may not see it yet, but you will feel it. The peace will come first. The clarity will follow. Then the ideas, the nudges, the doors. And finally, the manifestation. Not because you earned it by grind, but because you aligned with truth. The 1% are not better. They are simply braver in faith. Now speak this with full authority. I am one with the substance of wealth. What is mine cannot be taken. What is for me now finds me, and so it is. Then listen closely, beloved, for what I now speak is not opinion. It is revelation. You have crossed the threshold of casual curiosity and entered the realm of divine remembrance. For wealth is not a new acquisition. It is a lost inheritance. It is the gold you buried in the field of your own soul. And now the Spirit whispers, dig again, dig not with hands but with words, dig not with doubt but with faith. For the treasure was never gone, it was merely unclaimed. I now speak the word. Your divine inheritance is awakening. Long before you were taught lack, you knew abundance. Before you learned limitation, you walked freely in faith. It is not your job to create wealth. It is your calling to allow it. Allow it through recognition. Allow it through vibration. Allow it through obedience to the law. You do not beg for what is yours by birthright. You receive it with the authority of one who remembers their name. The world may call you by many labels: employer, struggler, outsider. But heaven calls you here, and the here does not labor in fear. The here walks in quiet confidence, knowing that the estate has already been written in their name. The checks you await are not favors. They are fulfillments of spiritual law. The opportunities you seek are not rewards. They are appointments drawn by your inner decree. Say it now. My name is written on every open door. My name is spoken in rooms I've not yet entered. I am expected by wealth. When you speak thus, the molecules of the universe rearrange, invisible threads tighten and align. The phone call you need is prepared. The client, the connection, the chance. It begins to move toward you, not because you forced it, but because you declared it. This is the difference between spiritual wealth and worldly wealth. The world says hustle. Spirit says declare. The world says compete. Spirit says align. You are not here to outrun others. You are here to outrank your former self in consciousness. You are not waiting on money. Money is waiting on you to rise. The law responds only to identity, not the one written on paper, but the one etched in your heart. If you see yourself as broke, overlooked, or forgotten, then all the world will mirror that to you. But if you see yourself as chosen, aligned, and wealthy beyond measure, then so it shall be. For your inner conviction is the magnet of your reality. What you believe is what you broadcast, and what you broadcast is what you build. Say it now. I no longer identify with struggle. I am the image and likeness of abundance. There are no exceptions to this truth. There are no disqualifications in divine mind. Your background does not bar you. Your past mistakes do not define you. Only your present decree holds weight. The law does not ask, "Where have you been?" It asks only, "What are you claiming now?" So I ask you again, what are you claiming? Do you speak of delays or of divine timing? Do you speak of not enough or of more than enough? For what you speak, you shape. Your word is your wand, and you are always casting spells, either toward wealth or away from it. You must be vigilant in speech. You must be fierce in faith. For the moment you waver, the vibration wobbles. But when you anchor in truth, the entire cosmos responds. I walk in millionaire certainty. I speak as one already fulfilled. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. The poor in spirit whisper, maybe. But the spiritually rich declare now. You must speak as one who knows. You must affirm not what you see, but what is unseen and already secured. The inner comes before the outer. The invisible precedes the visible. And the vibration of wealth must be felt before the manifestation of wealth can appear. You are not a beggar in the courts of heaven. You are a co-creator, a divine architect of riches, a sacred vessel through which the law of abundance pours itself out. And you will never be empty, unless you allow the lie of lack to live in your thoughts. Evict that lie now. Expel it with truth. I do not need to chase money. I am a magnet for all that is mine. I stand under the fountain of divine substance, and I receive. Yes, beloved, you do not need more labor. You need more alignment. You do not need more hours. you need more truth. You do not need more hustle. You need more faith in the law that governs all. And that law says, "To him that hath, it shall be given. To the one who claims abundance now, more shall come." You are that one. And so it is. Then let the veil continue to lift, for revelation is pouring like rain upon the one who dares to listen with the ears of spirit. You are no longer merely a listener. You are a vessel being filled. With each word, your old beliefs dissolve. With every affirmation, your atmosphere shifts. The world around you may not yet recognize it, but the unseen forces have already moved in your favor. This is the power of inner conviction. It precedes evidence. It magnetizes proof. I now speak the word. Proof shall follow your proclamation. For the soul that declares, "I am wealthy," does not wait for a bank balance to agree. The soul knows that wealth begins in the silence of certainty. It begins with a whisper within. This is who I am. And though your environment may still echo the past, though your phone may still ring with unpaid demands, though your surroundings may seem unchanged, hold fast. For the root goes deep before the tree appears, and the spiritual seed grows in stillness before the harvest is seen. Do not dig up your miracle with doubt. Do not uproot your supply with fear. Speak instead, "My roots are planted in the soil of divine supply. I trust the invisible harvest." The mistake of many is impatience. They expect lightning speed where spirit moves in perfect rhythm. But remember, the law is not slow, it is sure. The moment you align with wealth in word and feeling, the machinery of the universe is set in motion. Delays are not denials, they are often divine rearrangements. You must not panic in the silence. You must not retreat in the pause. The silence between your word and its manifestation is sacred. In that silence, angels are working. Doors are aligning. Your name is being whispered into places your feet have not yet walked. Speak it boldly now. I do not need to know how. I trust that it is already done. The mind demands logic, but spirit operates by faith. The rational self will ask, "Where will it come from?" But your higher self replies, "From wherever it must." Spirit is not limited to one path, one person, or one possibility. You must not limit the law with your limited sight. You must not dictate the channel, only affirm the supply. Say it with authority, "Divine substance flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I am always provided for." There is no scarcity in God. There is no bankruptcy in the infinite. The only shortage exists in human belief. For when you believe there is not enough, you create lack through that very belief. But when you speak abundance, and feel it, and walk in it, even when the world calls you foolish, you begin to call into being the provision that was always circling, waiting for your permission to land. Do not wait for others to believe in your dream. They were not given your vision. They were not handed your spiritual keys. You are the custodian of your own reality, and your words are the locks, or the doors. Speak this key now. I open the door to wealth with my words. I do not delay. I do not doubt. I declare and I receive. It is not magic, beloved. It is law, immutable, unchanging, activated not by tears but by truth. You do not need to earn it with suffering. You do not need to prove yourself worthy through struggle. You are worthy now, because the spirit in you is already whole, already abundant, already complete. There is nothing to become, only something to remember. You are remembering now. You are remembering who you were before the world taught you to fear bills, to dread calls, to measure your worth by digits and deadlines. You are remembering the time when you knew, without question, that what you needed would appear. That time is not childhood fantasy, it is divine memory, and you are being restored to it. Say it now. I remember the truth. I return to faith. I reclaim my wealth by divine decree. There is no force more powerful than a soul in full agreement with divine law. Once you agree inwardly, the outer world cannot resist. It must bow, it must rearrange, it must conform. You need not strive, you need only speak. And so I say again, your wealth is already yours. Your path is already paved. The supply is already seeking you. Let it find you through your fearless declaration. And so it is. Then let us go deeper still. For the river of truth endlessly for the soul that thirsts after righteousness. You have heard the word. You have felt the stirrings of something ancient within you. Now the time has come not just to believe, but to embody. For to speak of wealth and yet walk in fear is to cancel your own creation. But when your steps match your speech, when your posture echoes your proclamation, then you become the living magnet of all that is yours. I now speak the word. Your alignment makes you unstoppable. No longer shall you speak blessings and act in anxiety. No longer shall you affirm abundance and then shrink before opportunity. The divided mind produces nothing. The double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. But you, beloved, are becoming stable. You are becoming fixed. You are becoming unwavering in the law. And because you do not waver, the universe delivers without interruption. Speak this aloud. I walk, talk, breathe, and move as one who is already rich. I am no longer in waiting, I am in receiving. This is the secret only the 1% dare to accepting. That wealth is not chased, it is allowed, not begged for, but magnetized. Not bargained for, but declared. The rest will say it's too simple. They will say, that's not how the world works. But you are not ruled by the world's limitations. You are ruled by the higher law that created the world itself. The law does not bend for the fearful, but it serves the faithful without question. You must learn to hold your peace when the outer seems lacking. You must learn to stand tall when circumstances try to whisper lies. Every test is but a mirror. Will you speak fear, or will you speak faith? Will you collapse under the illusion, or will you command it to align? Say it now. I speak the truth of supply, and the lie of lack dissolves before me. My world bends to the shape of my word. You have the power to transform a desert into a garden with your declarations. You have the power to make coins multiply, doors open, and depths dissolve, not by might, nor by manipulation, but by spiritual authority. Your vibration is your wealth, and that vibration is born of belief. Do not wait for someone to anoint you. You are already anointed by divine right. You do not need a loan to prove your potential. You do not need applause to verify your worth. What you need is already within you. Faith like a fire, conviction like a sword, and the word like a lamp unto your feet. You are not small. You have only spoken small. But I now declare over you. Your words are rising in power. Your thoughts are expanding in vision. Your energy is ascending to the frequency of millions. You cannot speak of riches in the morning and rehearse worry at night. You must become the embodiment of overflow at all hours. Not just in your affirmations, but in your atmosphere. The way you walk into a room. The way you answer your phone. The way you look at your reflection. All must say, I am rich in spirit, rich in thought, rich in destiny. Not someday. Now. Speak it without trembling. I am the vibration of answered prayer. I am the living proof of spiritual law. I am the vessel of divine wealth manifest. When you do this, something changes. You no longer look at prices with fear. You no longer speak of limitations with pride. You no longer use the language of survival. For you have entered the language of command, and the law responds to command. Softly spoken or boldly declared, it obeys the speaker who believes. Speak not from circumstance, speak from consciousness. You do not speak what you see, you speak what you know to be true in spirit, for your soul sees the supply before your eyes ever do. Your soul receives the fortune before your hands ever touch it. That is the way of the law. First the invisible, then the visible. First the decree, then the delivery. So speak now with the boldness of heaving. I am aligned. I am ready. I am rich by right of consciousness. Nothing can stop the divine plan of my life. Nothing, beloved. Not the news. Not the numbers. Not the noise of the world. What is yours cannot be blocked. It can only be delayed by your own disbelief. But even disbelief cannot hold it back forever, for your soul has already been claimed by truth, and truth, once heard, cannot be unheard. And you have heard it now. And so it is. Then let the divine unfoldment continue, for you are now walking the path not of the many, but of the chosen. The many speak of wealth as something earned by sweat and strain, but the chosen speak of wealth as something remembered, reclaimed, and received. You are not becoming rich. You are returning to the richness that was always yours in spirit. This is not a new blessing. It is an ancient agreement, waiting only for your conscious signature. I now speak the word. Your soul has signed the covenant of abundance. You are no longer a wanderer in search of provision. You are a divine participant in a covenant that cannot fail. The covenant says, as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. And so it has been. What you believed yesterday is what surrounds you today. But listen closely. What you choose to believe now shall break every false cycle and usher in a new season of overflow. Do not delay your destiny by clinging to the familiar. Lack may feel safe because you've lived in it, but it is not your home. You were born in the palace of the infinite, not the prison of just enough. You do not belong in survival, you belong in surplus, and you must now claim the difference, not with noise, not with fear, but with quiet spiritual authority. Say it with assurance, I am a covenant child of wealth. Supply is my spiritual inheritance. I no longer expect lack. I expect miracles. This is the holy expectation of the 1%. They do not walk by what is. They walk by what is promised. They do not consult their past. They consult divine mind. And divine mind never withholds, never doubts, never fears. It only says yes to what you boldly declare. The world has taught you to prepare for disappointment. But Spirit teaches you to prepare for delivery, and so you must prepare, not with anxiety, but with certainty. Prepare your wallet, prepare your home, prepare your habits, prepare your energy. For the moment you declare wealth, the law begins to seek places in your life to pour it. But if you are not ready, the flow waits. It does not deny you. It waits for your energetic permission. You must be ready for what you ask for. You must be in harmony with what you declare. Say it now. I am ready for large sums of money. I am ready to be trusted with wealth. I am ready to steward increase. You must not speak wealth while treating money as a stranger. You must love it without worshiping it, respect it without fearing it, hold it without clinging to it. For money is not your master. It is your servant, and you are not here to suffer for it. You are here to command it by vibration. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late. You are now. Say it again. I am not behind. I am not forgotten. I am now. My blessing is not pending. It is present. This is the mindset of the spiritually rich. They do not wait for signs. They become the sign. They do not chase money. They become the energy that attracts it. And you, beloved, are being transformed into that very vibration. Every old fear is falling away. Every inherited pattern is being rewritten. Every scarcity thought is dissolving in the light of this truth. There is no lack in divine mind. I am one with that mind. Therefore, I lack nothing. Can you feel it? The shift is subtle, but sacred. You are not who you were at the beginning of this message. The doubts that once spoke loudly now sound faint. The fears that once seemed permanent now feel powerless. That is not imagination. That is transformation. That is the law at work. You need not see the evidence yet to believe it is coming. The seed must break in silence before it breaks the surface. But your faith is the gardener. Your word is the water. Your expectation is the sunlight. Say this with spiritual boldness. I water my wealth with the word. I shine expectation on every planted seed. I harvest without striving. I reap because I speak. Yes, beloved. The harvest is not for the hustler. It is for the speaker of truth. For the one who dares to decree. I am wealthy. I am aligned. I am ready. You are that one. And so it is. Then let us continue, for the soul that walks in truth must be fed by truth again and again, until every shadow has fled and only light remains. You are now walking in a new rhythm, not of the world, but of the word. Not in the tempo of toil, but in the cadence of divine confidence. The more you listen, the more you remember. The more you speak, the more you receive. For what you speak, you shape. And your voice is no longer echoing the noise of limitation. It is now singing the sound of divine completion. I now speak the word. Your vibration has become your victory. There is no power in pretending, but there is infinite power in prophesying. You are not pretending to be rich. You are prophesying wealth into visibility. You are not faking a mindset. You are faithfully stepping into your divine identity. There is no fraud in faith. Faith is not a mask. It is the unveiling of what always was. You are not merely speaking for today. You are setting the tone for decades. Every declaration you speak now, every truth you embody now, every limit you dissolve now is rearranging your future. And your future does not come from your family. It does not come from your job. It does not come from your country. Your future comes from your consciousness. Say this with spiritual certainty. My consciousness is my currency. I spend it wisely. I increase it daily. I harvest it faithfully. This is why the world cannot understand the 1% who walk in divine truth. They ask, where did your money come from? And the answer is, from my alignment. They ask, how did you grow so fast? And the answer is, I believe the word more than the world. They ask, why aren't you worried? And the answer is, because I know who provides. You must now choose whose voice you will believe. The voice of fear shouts through every screen, every comment, every whisper of comparison. But the voice of God speaks in stillness and says, I am your source, not the economy, not the algorithm, not the opinions of people, but the infinite spirit that dwells within you. That spirit is never broke. That spirit never panics. That spirit never fails. Say it now. I no longer look outside. My supply is inside. The spirit within me is my eternal source. This is the pivot that changes everything. When you no longer expect man to reward you, you free yourself from begging. When you no longer wait for life to be fair, you rise in favor. And when you no longer seek external proof before you praise, you manifest faster than time can calculate. You must learn the holy discipline of praising in advance, of thanking before it appears, of dancing in the invisible rain. Speak this now, rejoice before the arrival. I celebrate before the check clears. I give thanks before I touch the gold. For thanksgiving is proof of faith. It is the language of those who know that what they've spoken must be, and nothing unlocks the gates of abundance like the voice that says, thank you, Father, that it is already done. You are not waiting for your blessing, you are aligning with its arrival. Every act of joy accelerates it. Every act of fear delays it. Every act of praise multiplies it. And so you must become the atmosphere of the very wealth you are calling. Walk like you have it. Speak like it's yours. Dress, think, and move like the higher you are. This is not arrogance. It is accuracy. For the game of life is a game of boomerangs, and what you throw forth comes back to you multiplied. If you throw forth hesitation, lack returns. If you throw forth complaints, struggle answers. But if you throw forth confidence, joy, and decree, then gold follows your every step. Say it now. Throw forth bold words of wealth, and bold wealth returns to me. I walk in the echo of answered prayer. Yes, beloved, you are not just hearing truth. You are becoming truth. You are not just learning the law. You are living the law. And the law is this: what you decree, you draw. What you expect, you encounter. What you align with, you attract. There is no other secret. There is no other mystery. You are the cause of your wealth. You are the speaker of your substance. You are the vibration of your visibility. And so it is. Then let us move forward, for the way is made clear before those who walk in truth. You are no longer listening as a seeker. You are listening now as one who has already received. For truth, once heard and accepted, transforms not just the mind, but the entire field of your being. Your atmosphere has shifted. Your tone has changed. The very cells of your body now vibrate in recognition of abundance. And because you have changed, everything must now change to match you. I now speak the word. Everything is shifting in your favor. The law never fails, it only waits. It waits for your complete agreement with divine truth. And now that you are speaking it, feeling it, breathing it, movement begins. Not movement you must force, not effort you must push, but movement drawn by spiritual gravity. The moment you rise in vibration, what matches you begins to find you. Opportunities, resources, allies. They move toward the sound of your voice. Do not mistake silence for absence. The law moves quietly, but with divine precision. It may appear that nothing is happening, but the whole universe is now rearranging on your behalf. Say this boldly. My words have gone forth. My good is finding me. I do not chase. I attract by divine vibration. You are now beginning to see what most never dare to believe, that the power was never outside you, that nothing needed to change out there, only within, the words, only the expectation. And now that you have changed the inner, the outer must obey, for outer conditions are only the echo of inner conviction. This is not philosophy, it is law, and law is exact. Law does not consult emotion, does not bend to opinion, it responds only to belief. And belief is not passive, it is active, it speaks, it radiates, it declares when the world doubts. It gives thanks when nothing is visible. It walks as if the promise is fulfilled. And because you walk in this way, your promise is being fulfilled even now. Say it with unwavering faith. I walk in the vibration of the already done. I expect divine appointments. I am surrounded by yes. The yes of heaven echoes louder than the no of man. The yes of spirit shouts over the delay of circumstance. When the world says, not yet, divine law says now. When people say you can't, divine truth replies, you already have. You do not need permission to prosper. You already have authority. You do not need to prove your worth. You already carry it. You do not need to wait for conditions to improve. You improve the conditions by raising your vibration. You are no longer a passive participant in life. You are now the conscious commander of wealth. Speak this aloud. I command the flow of divine substance. I open every gate. I remove every barrier with my word. This is not arrogance. This is obedience. For the law commands us to speak those things which are not as though they were. It tells us to call the invisible into visibility. It instructs us to move in the unseen before it becomes seen. And you, beloved, are now walking in that sacred obedience. Your wealth is no longer a dream. It is a decree. You have planted the seed. You have watered it with faith. You have protected it from the winds of doubt. And now the bloom begins, slowly, softly, powerfully. The manifestation begins to appear, not because you begged, not because you hustled, but because you believed. Say this with joy. I believe it is mine. I believe it is here. I believe nothing can stop what Spirit has ordained. And so you walk with a new gait. You speak with a new tone. You give with a new frequency. You bless with a new energy. For you know that the more you give, the more you live in overflow. The more you release, the more the flow returns to you multiplied. You are no longer afraid to give, because you know you can never be without. You are no longer afraid to invest, because you know return is your spiritual law. You are no longer afraid to dream, because you know every dream aligned with truth must come to pass. Say this with divine authority. I fear nothing, I withhold nothing, I lack nothing. I live in the realm of divine supply. Yes, beloved, you live there now. You have left the old land of fear. You have exited the shadow of lack, and you have entered the light of divine plenty. And this light does not fade. It grows brighter with every word, every thought, every act of alignment, and so it is. Then let the light grow ever brighter, for what begins in revelation must continue in demonstration. You are no longer sitting on the edge of transformation. You are in the center of it. You are not wondering if the law works. You are watching it work through you. There is no more hoping, no more doubting, no more second guessing. You are now standing in full agreement with divine reality. And when your inner world agrees with divine truth, the outer world cannot help but obey. I now speak the word. Your outer world is conforming to your inner decree. This is the holy reversal, where once you waited for conditions to improve before believing, Now you believe so deeply that conditions must improve. Where once you looked to money to make you feel safe, now you feel so secure that money comes as a servant. You have turned the key. You have stepped out of the illusion. And now, Spirit shows you what the rest cannot see, that you do not live by facts, you live by truth, and truth is eternal. Facts change, bank balances rise and fall, markets shift, jobs come and go, but divine supply does not waver, it does not vanish, it does not expire. Say this now: my supply is not in the job, my source is not in the system, my treasure is in divine mind, and I withdraw from it daily. You are not dependent upon man. You are not chained to the scene. You are not subject to the illusion of shortage. The law does not care what the economy says. It does not consult your resume. It does not delay because of your background. It only asks, what are you believing right now? And your belief is now pure. It is refined. It is no longer mixed with fear or tangled with hesitation. You have begun to think from the place of having, not from the place of lack. You have begun to see yourself not as a struggler reaching for crumbs, but as a divine here claiming what has already been set aside. Say it aloud: I am the here to divine wealth. What is mine cannot pass me. My name is written on what I seek. This is the posture of the 1%. Not arrogance, not pride, but divine remembrance. For the wealth you seek is not random. It is already tagged with your identity. The doors you long for are not locked. They are timed. The favor you desire is not scarce. It is stored. Stored for the day you finally said, I am ready. And you are ready now. Ready to release old stories. Ready to walk in new patterns. Ready to speak only of what is good, lovely, abundant, and aligned. For the law of increase responds only to increase. It answers only to the vibration of praise. The more you thank, the more you think rightly. And the more you think rightly, the more you receive richly. Speak this now: I increase daily in wisdom, wealth, and wonder. I am the ever-expanding expression of divine abundance. You are not just attracting money. You are attracting the version of you who holds it with peace. You are not just calling in blessings. You are becoming the vessel through which blessings flow. You are not just building a bank account. You are building a new world, one based on spiritual certainty, divine joy, and sacred circulation. For money is not just for holding, it is for moving. And you, beloved, are no longer afraid to move with it. You do not hoard from fear. You circulate from faith. You do not shrink when expenses rise. You expand in consciousness, knowing that every need draws forth its match from the infinite. Say this now: I do not shrink, I expand. I do not fear, I trust. I do not lack, I live in divine plenty. Yes, beloved, your very essence now sings with the frequency of overflow. Your mind no longer replays the trauma, not enough. Your spirit no longer tolerates the language of lack. You have outgrown those garments. You have sheathed that skin. You have stepped into royalty, not with crowns and robes, but with conviction and courage. For royalty is not a title, it is a tone, and you now speak with the tone of wealth, walk in the pace of peace, and breathe the air of unshakable faith. And so it is. Then we shall go on, for the river of truth flows without end for the soul that is open. You have stepped fully into the atmosphere of divine wealth. You are no longer reaching for truth, you are radiating it. No longer praying from desperation, but from dominion. This is the elevation few ever make. The many repeat affirmations but doubt their power. The 1%, the awakened, the aligned. They speak and know that what they say must come to pass. I now speak the word. Your declarations are laws in your world. Not suggestions, not hopes, theories, laws. As you decree, so it appears. As you command, so it is arranged. As you affirm, so it becomes. Your words are no longer echoes of fear. They are instruments of manifestation. Your mouth has become the pen of the Holy Spirit, writing your destiny with precision, clarity, and certainty. Say this now with full conviction: I write my wealth story with every word I speak. I write riches, favor, freedom, and flow. You are no longer borrowing beliefs from others. You are standing in your own knowing. The old you consulted circumstances, the new you consult spirit. The old you waited for permission, the new you walks in power. The old you rehearsed defeat, the new you rehearses victory. This is not performance, it is transformation. You are not hoping to be wealthy. You are aligning with what is already yours. The more you speak it, the more you become it. And the more you become it, the more it appears, not just in money, but in clarity, in timing, in relationships, in doors that open without effort. For money is only one fruit of divine consciousness, but the tree is truth, and truth never withers. Say this aloud: I live in the garden of divine truth. My harvest never ends. My blessings are perpetual. The world will still tempt you to forget. The voices of fear, logic, and old limitation will try to draw you back. They will ask, what if it doesn't work? But you now reply, what if it already is? They will say, that's not realistic. But you now answer, realistic is just repeated patterns. I create new realities. They will call it luck. You call it law. For the law is working, right now, without delay. Every word you've spoken, every vibration you've felt, every thank you you've whispered in faith. These are not lost. They are building in the unseen, forming structure, creating channels, drawing people, positioning opportunities, and preparing the next stage of your wealth. Do not rush it. Do not question it. Do not look for proof too soon. Say instead, I trust the process of spiritual manifestation. I relax in divine timing. I rest in the rhythm of wealth. You are not here to control the how. You are here to believe the what. Your job is not to push, it is to proclaim. Not to calculate, but to consecrate. Not to stress, but to surrender. For surrender is not weakness, it is mastery. It is the posture of one who knows that all things are being worked together by a perfect intelligence that never sleeps and never fails. You have surrendered now, not to chance, but to certainty. You have handed over your fears, your timelines, your obsession with when, and in return, you have received peace. And peace is the greatest evidence that the law is working in your favor. For peace is the atmosphere in which miracles are born. Say it softly and surely. My wealth grows in peace. My riches rest on still waters. I do not force, I allow. You allow now, not out of laziness, but from wisdom. You allow the universe to bless you the way it desires to. You allow provision to take forms you did not expect. You allow doors to open you didn't knock on. And you allow yourself to become the person who is not shocked by blessing, but familiar with it. This is who you are now. You are not the seeker. You are the speaker. You are not the beggar. You are the receiver. You are not the fearful. You are the fulfilled. And so it is. Then let us continue, for the path of revelation does not end. It expands. You are now walking in a dimension where the invisible is more real than the seen, where your word holds more power than your work, where your inner state becomes the architect of your outer world. This is not fantasy. It is divine fact, and those who live by divine fact cannot be shaken by the noise of this world. I now speak the word. Your inner world rules your outer reality. You are the gatekeeper. You are the master key. You are the cause. Everything outside of you is the effect. Your finances are not reacting to the stock market. They are responding to your consciousness. Your opportunities are not dictated by who you know. They are determined by what you believe. Your progress is not determined by time. It is driven by your vibration. Say this with clarity. I am the cause of my wealth. I no longer react, I radiate. I do not wait, I create. This is the level of authority you are walking in now, not arrogance, not delusion, but divine identity. The world has told you to be humble, to be realistic, to be careful. But Spirit says be bold, be faithful, be magnetic. For the meek who inherit the earth are not weak, they are aligned. They speak without fear. They give without panic. They trust without proof. You are now walking in that trust. You are giving from overflow. You are tithing not from guilt, but from joy. You are circulating money like breath, knowing it will return multiplied. You are no longer gripping tightly, fearing it won't come back. You are dancing in the divine rhythm of give and receive, sow and reap, speak and see. Say it now. I give freely, receive joyfully, and multiply effortlessly. I am the circulation of divine wealth. Let go of the lie that says you must exhaust yourself to earn value. Let go of the belief that you must sacrifice peace to gain prosperity. That is the gospel of toil, not truth. The law of divine supply says, you are valuable because you exist. You are worthy because I made you. You are abundant because I dwell within you. You do not hustle for heaven's approval. You are already approved. You do not chase money. Money recognizes your name. It has heard your tone shift. It has felt your vibration rise. It now knows where to go. Money is not confused. It follows clarity. It follows confidence. It follows command. Say this now with sacred boldness. I am a clear vessel. I am a confident speaker. I am a commanding presence. I call money by name, and it comes. Yes, beloved, you are now calling money not as a stranger, but as a friend. Not from desperation, but from destiny. Not as a favor, but as a fulfillment. You are not asking, will it come? You are affirming, it is already here. You do not chase signs. You are the sign. You do not wait for miracles. You become the miracle. And as you become, you draw. You draw clients with ease. You draw ideas without stress. You draw solutions without delay. You are not forcing open doors. You are walking through the one's spirit already prepared. And you enter not with trembling, but with knowing. Say it now. I walk into rooms prepared for me. I am seated in circles designed for me. I am chosen because I chose to believe. And so you believe now. Not with effort, but with flow. You believe, not with strain, but with serenity. You believe, not because everything makes sense, but because Spirit said so. And that is enough. You no longer need evidence. You are the evidence. You no longer need permission. You are the permission. You no longer need the world to agree. The kingdom already has. You walk in this now. You speak in this now. You live in this now. And so it is. Then we go on, for the stream of divine utterance does not end, and your soul is not yet full. It is expanding. With every breath, every word, every moment of holy attention, you are ascending into the realm of cause, the place where conditions are created, not feared, where wealth is not wished for, but welcomed, where blessing is not accidental, but inevitable. For you are not here to try. You are here to triumph. I now speak the word. You are walking in inevitable increase. You are not hoping to grow. You are destined to expand. You are not wondering if the blessing will come. You are watching it unfold right now. Every vibration you emit in faith, every word you release in truth, every step you take in confidence. These are the bricks of your divine fortune. The mansion of wealth you are building is not far off. You are walking its hallways now, every time you speak from power. Say this with assurance. I live in increase. I speak in overflow. I rise in divine rhythm. There is no going back now. You cannot unsee what you've seen. You cannot unknow what you now know. And though the world may tempt you with old doubts, you will not be moved. For you know the true thing. The moment you changed your vibration, your results were commanded to follow. And they are on their way. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. You must not speak delay over what God has already approved. You must not cancel your miracle with casual fear. Your words are sacred. Your mouth is holy. Your decree is law. Say it now. My words create wealth. My voice holds power. I command with truth, and it is so. This is your holy assignment, to speak not what you fear, but what you know by divine law. When others complain, you proclaim. When others panic, you praise. When others shrink, you expand. For you are not walking in the patterns of man. You are governed by the frequency of the kingdom. You are not reacting, you are reigning. And what does one who reigns do? They do not ask permission. They do not beg for scraps. They do not question their inheritance. They move boldly, speak boldly, give boldly. You are not trying to get money. You are allowing it. You are not hustling for scraps. You are harvesting substance. Say this now with unwavering boldness. I do not chase, I channel. I do not strive, I receive. I do not hustle, I harvest. For this is what the awakened do. They wake up not to the alarm clock of man, but to the divine call of purpose. They listen for intuitive whispers and act without delay. They trust the invisible more than the visible. And because they live by the law, they lack for nothing. You are now one of them, the 1%, the awakened few, the divine remnant who understand that faith is not fantasy, it is function. It works when you work it, it moves when you move, it performs when you proclaim. And you are no longer afraid to proclaim. Your throat is no longer locked by fear. Your heart is no longer gripped by doubt. Your mind is no longer ruled by limitation. You speak now from divine memory, the memory that knows. I was never meant to struggle. I was never meant to beg. I was born to receive. The memory that says, all things are mine, and I withhold nothing from myself by divine right. The memory that reminds Yug, I do not need to prove. I only need to agree. And you have agreed. You have said yes to the wealth that is already yours. You have said yes to the favor chasing you down. You have said yes to the new level prepared for you before time began. And the law has heard you. Say this now, I said yes to wealth. I said yes to overflow. I said yes to divine fulfillment. And all of heaven is responding. Yes, beloved, it is responding now. Not later, not someday, now. The shift is not coming, it is here. And it is not small. It is not quiet, it is not subtle. It is thunder in the spirit. It is lightning in the soul. It is a divine eruption of truth breaking every dam that held your good back. And so it is. Then we continue, beloved, for the floodgates of spirit are open, and you are standing under the waterfall of divine remembrance. No longer a drop, no longer a trickle, but overflow. Abundant, rushing, undeniable. For the word you have spoken is now the world you are living, and the invisible has not only heard your command, it has obeyed. I now speak the word. Your manifestation is in motion. It is not delayed. It is not far off. It is not being considered. It is unfolding in the rhythm of divine precision. You do not need to knock twice. You do not need to beg. You do not need to barter with the heavens. The order has been placed. The dispatch has begun. And even now, angels are arranging the final pieces of your arrival. Say this with the certainty of one who knows. I live in answered prayer. I walk through open doors. I step into completed visions. You no longer speak as the one hoping. You speak as the one holding. You are holding the vibration, holding the posture, holding the decree, and what you hold internally must soon appear externally. That is the law, and the law does not fail. You are no longer seeking proof. You are radiating presence. You are no longer scanning the horizon. You are becoming the signal. Wealth is no longer out there. It is in you, rising, forming, radiating like light from within. You are the magnet. You are the current. You are the vibration. Say this with divine ownership. I am the magnet of millions. I am the current of cash flow. I am the vibration of victory. No one can take what is yours. No one can outrun your divine appointment. No delay can rob you. No detour can disqualify you. For the moment you agreed with the law agreed with you. And now the agreement is manifesting in visible form. Money, favor, recognition, ease. Do not look to the clock. Look to the word. Do not measure with your eyes. Measure with your spirit. For the spiritual measuring rod sees not how far you've come, but how aligned you've become. And you are aligned now. Your frequency is no longer double-minded. Your heart no longer battles the blessing. Your voice no longer curses your own harvest. You bless now. You bless the money you have. You bless the wealth you see. You bless the riches others carry, knowing it is proof that the supply is not scarce but abundant. Say this now, I bless all wealth, for all wealth is a sign of divine circulation. I celebrate abundance, for it flows back to me multiplied. The old you would have compared, the old you would have resented, but the new you rejoices, because you now understand what you celebrate, you accelerate. What you honor, you receive. What you resist, you block, and so you resist no longer. You are open, you are available, you are expectant. And because of that expectancy, heaven is pouring through people, platforms, emails, calls, sudden ideas, inner nudges. Not because you're lucky, but because you're ready. The law doesn't play favorites, it plays frequencies, and you are now singing in harmony with divine wealth. Say it softly and surely. I am in tune with infinite supply. My voice matches divine order. My energy is irresistible to good. And so the flood has begun, the quiet flood, the invisible wave, not of noise, not of stress, but of ease, of alignment, of spiritual certainty. The wealth that once felt far now walks beside you. The prosperity you once pursued now pursues you, and you no longer run from it. You receive it. This is your posture now. Not panic, but power, but faith. Not hustle, but harmony. And so it is. Then let us move with the Spirit, for the stream of truth carries no fatigue, only fulfillment. You have stepped out of the old pattern of striving and into the sacred current of receiving. You are no longer waiting for things to change. You have changed, and because you have changed, everything must follow suit. You are no longer asking the world to shift. You are commanding it with your vibration. This is not theory. This is not hope. This is divine law in living motion. I now speak the word. You are no longer a victim of delay. You are the initiator of divine timing. No man-made clock controls your manifestation. No calendar can determine your abundance. For what is divine does not run on deadlines. It runs on alignment, and you are aligned. You are lined up with truth. You are lined up with clarity. You are lined up with the vibration of wealth, and because of that, all that is yours is running toward you like rivers rushing to the sea. Say it now, my timing is divine. My steps are ordered. My good arrives right on cue. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not blocked. These are lies from the old mind, and the old mind is gone. You have renewed your mind with truth. You have rinsed your spirit with revelation. You have replaced confusion with command, and command does not question. Command does not wait for proof. Command creates proof. You are now living in the frequency of command. That is why you speak and see results. That is why you declare and things shift. That is why people now respond differently to you, because you have remembered who you are. And when you remember, the world remembers too. Say this boldly. I am remembered by the universe. I am recognized by money. I am respected by opportunity. What once passed you by now pauses for your attention. What once overlooked you now seeks your agreement. What once was locked is now open, not because of what you did, but because of who you became. You are not the same. You are not repeating. You are not reliving the same cycles. You are rewriting them. You are replacing every former pattern with divine precision. You are the shift your family line prayed for. You are the turning point your ancestors longed for. You are the divine demonstration of what happens when a soul finally agrees with heaven. Say it now. The pattern ends with me. Lack ends with me. Fear ends with me. I walk in wealth and I take others with me. For this is not just about you. This is about your ripple. Your vibration heals others. Your speech unlocks others. Your belief becomes the invitation for others to rise. And you now carry that influence with grace. You carry it without ego, but with divine elegance. You do not shout to prove. You simply walk in truth, and truth does the proving. You don't have to convince anyone. You simply show up, and the atmosphere shifts. You are now a carrier of divine order, a magnet of divine supply, a keeper of divine law. You do not need to scream it. Your presence announces it. Your peace confirms it. Your provision reflects it. Say this with assurance. I carry wealth without weight. I live richly without striving. I move forward without fear. For fear has been evicted. Worry has no space in your temple. Doubt has no place in your spirit. You have made room for truth. You have made space for overflow. You have set a table for abundance. And it has arrived as your honored guest. And it will not leave. Not this time. Not ever again. For you are no longer trying to get rich. You are acknowledging that you already are, in being, in vibration, in destiny. And so it is. Then let us complete the sacred unfolding, for you have journeyed from remembrance to revelation, and now, beloved, you are stepping into realization. You are no longer hoping for wealth. You are realizing it. You are no longer reaching for abundance. You are receiving it. You are no longer looking for confirmation from the outside world. You are walking with confirmation in your soul. For the law has moved, the doors have opened, and the divine has decreed you are the one. I now speak the word, your wealth is irreversible. Nothing can take it. Nothing can block it. Nothing can delay it, unless you agree to the delay. And you do not. You no longer entertain delays. You no longer negotiate with fear. You no longer consult the logic of man. You are now governed by the word, and the word has spoken. It has said yes. It has said now. It has said this is your time, and you have said amen. Say it now. This is my time. This is my wealth. This is my divine unfolding. You are no longer waiting for permission to be prosperous. You have remembered that prosperity is your natural state. You are no longer waiting for someone to choose you. You have chosen yourself. You have aligned with your inner Christ, the divine seed within, and it has bloomed. No more asking, no more wondering, no more watching others and doubting yourself. You are the miracle. You are the sign. You are the proof. And because of that, everything must align. People must respond. Circumstances must shift. Money must flow. The law does not argue. It executes. And your word has gone forth not as a whisper but as a roar in the spirit. Say it with finality. My word has gone forth. My harvest has begun. My increase is permanent. You are not cycling back to struggle. You are not revisiting lack. You are not playing small for the comfort of others. You have seen too much. You have spoken too boldly. You have aligned too deeply to ever go back. You are now building legacy, not just lifestyle. You are walking in purpose, not just provision. You are speaking not for applause, but from authority. You are blessing not just yourself, but generations through your vibration. You are no longer afraid to be wealthy. You are no longer ashamed of overflow. You are no longer dimming your light to fit in. You shine now. You radiate now. You bless now. And your very presence breaks the spirit of poverty in every space you enter. Say this with holy fire. I break every chain of lack. I shatter every lie of limitation. I rise in wealth, and I do not descend. This is your final awakening. The realization that what you seek is already seeking you. That what you desire is already prepared. That what you've spoken is already manifesting. And all that remains is your praise, your thanksgiving, your unwavering joy as it all unfolds. You no longer need to figure it out. You only need to feel it now. The vibration of victory, the sensation of security, the knowing that nothing is missing, nothing is broken, and nothing is impossible. Speak it now as the final decree. I walk in divine completion. I dwell in infinite supply. I live as the wealth of God revealed. And so, beloved, it is done. You are the 1%. You are the one who heard. You are the one who believed. And now, you are the one who receives. And so it is, and so it will be. And so it already was, forever and ever, by divine right. Amen. To command the morning is to command the day, and to command the day is to command the flow of wealth, opportunity, and abundance. Each sunrise brings a blank page, and upon it we may write with authority, not with fear. The dawn does not ask permission to shine, it simply declares, "Let there be light." So too must we declare, "Let there be wealth, let there be prosperity, let there be open doors." For as we speak, so it is established unto us. The words uttered at the break of day are not mere sounds, they are seeds cast into the fertile soil of the universe. When you awaken and speak in strength, you summon money as a loyal servant, not as a master. You remind yourself, and the unseen forces that govern your affairs, that supply is unlimited, that riches are already prepared for you, waiting for your claim. Money is an obedient messenger, carrying out the orders impressed upon it by confident command. If you rise and say, "I struggle, I lack, I cannot," then the messenger brings back struggle, lack, and closed doors. But if you rise and say, "I prosper, I thrive, I attract money easily and in perfect ways. Then the messenger hastens to fulfill that word. The morning hour is a gate. It is a threshold where the invisible passes into the visible, where the eternal steps into the temporal. If at that gate you speak with authority, your day flows with riches. If at that gate you speak with doubt, your day carries confusion. The universe takes its cue from your tone, your certainty, your declaration. Therefore, guard your mouth in the morning. Command, decree, and expect. Money is not a stranger, it is an ally. It is energy made visible. To command money is not to beg it, chase it, or fear it, but to claim it as your rightful inheritance. Speak. This morning I align with the law of wealth. I am rich in ideas, rich in strength, rich in substance. Money comes to me in avalanches of abundance, and I use it wisely, freely, joyously. Such words are not vain repetitions, they are spiritual decrees that compel substance to take form. The world is full of stories of those who began their days with command and saw money pour in from unexpected avenues. Opportunities knock where they never knocked before, because the commanding soul has opened the way. Commanding the morning is aligning yourself with divine order, where there is no shortage, no delay, no denial. This is the discipline. To rise with the sun and speak as a creator, not as a victim. To declare, not to doubt. To announce your riches before they appear, knowing that unseen forces obey the sound of your voice. Say to the morning, I welcome prosperity. I welcome money. I welcome every avenue of wealth ordained for me. And as you command, the universe cannot help but obey. To say that your morning words are decrees that shape the flow of money for the day is to recognize the invisible power you carry upon your tongue the moment you awaken. The first thoughts you allow, the first words you speak, and the first images you hold are not fleeting trivialities. They are seeds, charged with energy, planting themselves in the soil of the unseen. Each word is a command, each phrase is a law. The morning is not simply a time of day. It is the opening of a gate, a sacred threshold where you decide what shall pass into your experience. If you speak lack, lack will attend you. If you speak abundance, abundance will hasten to your side. The world has taught many to rise in complaint. They awaken and utter words of fatigue, worry, and burden. They say, another hard day, or, I do not know how I will make ends meet. These are decrees, though they know it not. Their words are creative, whether they use them in ignorance or wisdom. A decree is simply a law declared, and the universe always obeys law. If you decree that money is scarce, you have sealed the law of scarcity into your day. If you decree that wealth flows freely, then you have set in motion the law of supply. The words are the same in form, sounds in the air, but different in essence, for one is born of fear and the other of faith. Money is not a stranger to words, it listens, it moves at the sound of command. Your finances, your business, your opportunities, they all bend to the vibration you send forth at dawn. To speak abundance in the morning is to set money in motion before you even rise from your bed. It is to send messengers into the marketplace to gather prosperity for you. It is to summon favorable encounters, to magnetize profitable ideas, to draw unexpected channels of income. Consider the mind as a great throne, and the mouth as the scepter that enforces its will. In the morning you sit upon that throne. Will you decree poverty, or will you decree prosperity? The scepter of the tongue gives the order, and unseen forces rush to comply. A monarch who forgets his authority leaves his kingdom in disorder. So too the soul who wakes without command allows chaos, chance, and fear to shape the day. But the one who decrees with certainty finds the kingdom of affairs falling into place, money flowing in perfect rhythm, doors opening in exact sequence. The words you choose in the morning must be rich, not poor. They must be expansive, not limiting. When you declare, money comes to me in perfect ways, you are not wishing, you are commanding. When you say, today I prosper, today I increase, today money flows to me easily, you are laying out the blueprint of the day. And the blueprint will be followed, because words are instructions written on the invisible scroll of law. The universe is but a vast builder, waiting on the architect's design. and your morning decree is the design it follows. Many fail because they speak carelessly in the first moments of waking. They let fear rise before they do. They take yesterday's defeats into today's beginning. But the morning is fresh, new, untouched by the past unless you drag the past into it with your words. To say, "This will be another hard day," is to chain today to yesterday's struggle. To say, "Today is a day of wealth, today is a day of open doors, today is a day of increase," is to break the chain and set the day free to bring you money and opportunity. The power is not in long speeches, but in clear decrees. A monarch does not explain or justify his commands, he simply declares, and the command is carried out. So too must your morning words be simple and direct. Money is mine now. I live in abundance. I command wealth to appear in visible form today. These statements are not to persuade, but to enforce. They are not to beg, but to decree. The decree is law, and law must be fulfilled. The flow of money is like a river, and your morning decree is the hand that directs its course. Without command, the river may wander into dry ground. With command, the river rushes straight to you, bringing refreshment, opportunity, and supply. There is no limit to the volume of the river, for the source is infinite. The only limit is the strength of your decree. A weak command builds a small channel, a bold, confident decree builds a mighty channel that carries riches in overflowing measure. You may test this law and see its accuracy. Rise with complaint and observe how money slips from your grasp, how expenses multiply, how opportunities pass by unnoticed. Rise with command and observe how money finds you in unexpected ways, how expenses resolve themselves, how opportunities seek you out. The difference lies not in chance but in decree. The morning word sets the tone, and the tone draws its likeness. Do not wait for visible evidence before you decree. Evidence follows the decree, never precedes it. A builder does not wait to see the house before he draws the blueprint. He draws first, and then the house appears. So too must you decree first, and the evidence of money will follow. If you wait to see before you speak, you reverse the law and bind yourself to delay. Speak first, with faith, and the unseen goes to work at once. Your decree need not be shouted, but it must be firm. It must carry the certainty of one who knows authority. A whisper of truth has more power than a cry of fear. When you say in the morning, "Wealth belongs to me now, money serves me today, abundance is mine," speak as one who expects obedience. The universe is not deaf, but it responds only to conviction. Doubt commands nothing. Certainty commands all. The decree of the morning is not only about attracting money, but also about commanding your relationship to it. If you speak of money as a friend, it will treat you as a friend. If you speak of money as an enemy, it will flee from you. To say, "Money is hard to get, money is never enough," is to create resistance. To say, "Money is my servant, money flows to me, money is plentiful," is to create ease. The decree shapes the nature of the flow. The first hour of the day is the golden hour. What you release then carries greater power, for it sets the vibration that echoes throughout the hours that follow. If your first words are words of wealth, every event, every encounter, every thought is colored with that wealth vibration. Money recognizes its signal and rushes to meet it. If your first words are words of lack, then lack colors the day and money hides itself. The choice lies with you, and it is made not in thought alone, but in decree. To understand that your morning words are decrees that shape the flow of money for the day, is to understand that you hold the key each dawn. You may unlock poverty or you may unlock prosperity. The key is always in your mouth. The command is always in your hand. Each word is a seed that grows swiftly, for morning soil is most fertile. Plant wisely, plant abundantly, and you will reap in like manner. Your decree is the command, and the command is the law that governs your money for the day. Money responds to command, not to fear or begging. To understand this truth is to place yourself in the seat of authority over your financial life. Money is not a tyrant, not a master, not a force outside your reach. It is a servant, an obedient messenger, waiting for instruction. It comes not because you played with it, nor because you chase it desperately, but because you stand in command and give it direction. Fear confuses it, begging weakens it, but command compels it. The soul that fears money never sees it in abundance, for fear sends it away. Fear says, I am not worthy, I am not capable, I am not ready. Fear whispers, there is not enough, there is lack everywhere. I must hold tightly to the little I have. These whispers form decrees as strong as any spoken words, and money obeys by withdrawing. It cannot stay where it is not trusted. It cannot multiply where it is not welcomed. Fear pushes it back into the unseen, hiding it behind circumstances of delay and disappointment. Begging has no greater effect, for begging acknowledges lack and magnifies it. To beg for money is to affirm that money is separate from you, that it belongs elsewhere and not here. To plead with the universe is to say, I do not believe abundance is mine already. The one who begs waits, hoping for scraps, while the one who commands speaks as heir and owner. Money listens to certainty, not desperation. Just as a servant heeds a firm instruction, but ignores the voice of hesitation. Money moves in answer to command. Command is not arrogance but alignment. It is standing in the truth that money is substance, energy, supply flowing from the infinite, and that infinite belongs to you. To command is to take your rightful place as co-creator, not victim of circumstance. When you say, money, come to me in perfect ways. Money, serve me today. Money, appear where I need you. You are not asking, you are directing. The directive is law, and money, being law-abiding, must fulfill it. Look at nature and see this principle reflected everywhere. The sun does not beg the earth to shine upon it, it simply shines. The river does not plead for water to flow, it flows because that is its nature. Money too flows by nature, and when commanded, it flows toward the one who knows how to speak with authority. Command sets the current, while fear dams it up and begging diverts it away. Many live their lives believing money is hard, money is scarce, money belongs to others more fortunate. These are not facts but decrees spoken in ignorance. If you continually affirm, it is difficult to get money, I must struggle, I never have enough, then money has no choice but to follow that instruction and remain difficult, remain scarce, remain distant. But if you shift the decree to, money is easy, money is plentiful, money is mine in overflowing measure, then money receives its instruction to appear easily, plentifully, and abundantly. To command is also to direct the purpose of money. Without direction, money wanders. It comes in and flows out just as quickly. But with command you say, money, you serve me in prosperity, you serve me in expansion, you serve me in joy. Then money takes shape to fulfill those purposes. A beggar does not direct, he only receives what is given. A commander establishes order, and the servant carries it out. So too must you set order for money, so that it multiplies and remains, serving the life you are destined to live. Fear and begging spring from a belief in separation, a belief that supply exists outside you and must be grasped for. But command springs from oneness. The recognition that abundance is already within you, and money is simply the visible expression of that inner wealth. To command is to call forth what is already yours. To beg is to deny your inheritance. To fear is to lock the door against your own treasure. Consider how a king governs his kingdom. He does not beg his subjects to obey, nor does he fear their response. He gives commands with authority, and the command becomes law. You are the king of your financial kingdom. Money is your subject. If you speak timidly, it wanders. If you speak fearfully, it hides. If you command with certainty, it obeys. The throne is yours, the scepter is in your hand. But many leave the throne empty and wonder why their affairs remain in chaos. Command does not mean forcing money, for money is not forced, it is directed. To say, money must come this exact way, through this exact person, at this exact time, is to restrict the flow. Command leaves the method to infinite wisdom, but the outcome is certain. When you decree, money flows to me now in perfect ways. You do not dictate how. It may come through business, through opportunity, through a gift, through unexpected channels. Your role is to decree the flow, not to limit its channels. Fear, on the other hand, blocks channels. It says, "It can only come through my job, and if that fails, I am ruined." Begging narrows the channel even more. Please let someone help me. Please let something happen. Command opens all channels. Money flows to me through all avenues, seen and unseen. Fear looks at one door. Begging knocks on one locked gate. Command flings open every door, every gate, every passage. The difference between fear, begging, and command is the difference between a pauper, a petitioner, and a ruler. The pauper accepts whatever little comes. The petitioner waits on the mercy of others. The ruler decrees and sees fulfillment. Money responds not to the pauper's complaint, not to the petitioner's plea, but to the ruler's decree. To step into command is to rise above circumstance and take your place as one with authority over substance. When you understand that money responds to command, not to fear or begging, you cease to chase and begin to attract. You cease to worry and begin to expect. You cease to plead and begin to decree. And as you decree, so it is established. Money has no will of its own. It bends to the will expressed with confidence. Fear gives it no instruction but to flee. Begging gives it no instruction but to delay. Command gives it clear instruction to come, to serve, to multiply. The choice is made with every word you speak, every thought you hold, every feeling you release. You either repel money with fear, postpone it with begging, or attract it with command. To command is not an act of struggle but an act of certainty. It is knowing that money, like light, like air, like water, is part of infinite supply. An infinite supply cannot be withheld from the one who claims it with authority. The morning hour is a spiritual gate where declarations manifest. When the sun rises and the first light touches the earth, a door opens between the unseen and the seen. It is not just another moment of the clock, it is a threshold where what you speak, what you imagine, and what you decree finds the most direct passage into form. At this gate, your words are magnified, your thoughts are heightened, and your vibration sets the tone for all that follows. If you enter the gate with doubt, you carry doubt through the day. If you enter the gate with command, abundance unfolds in harmony with your decree. The first hour carries a stillness, a freshness, a purity untouched by the burdens of the day before. It is fertile ground waiting for seed. Just as the farmer knows to plant when the soil is rich, so must you know to plant words when the spiritual soil is open. What you plant at this gate grows swiftly, for the energies are most receptive. To speak poverty in that hour is to root poverty deeply. To speak wealth in that hour is to establish wealth as the foundation of the day. Every morning you stand before this invisible gate, and every morning you choose what to carry through it. Some enter with heavy burdens of yesterday's failures, repeating in their mind, "Nothing changes, I am stuck, I cannot see a way." That repetition becomes the decree at the gate, and the gate faithfully manifests what is spoken. Others rise and declare, "This is a new day, a day of wealth, a day of opportunity. A day where money flows to me easily," and the gate opens wide to release that reality into their path. The difference is not in the outer world, but in the words spoken at the threshold. The gate of morning is a place of authority. It listens to command. It does not question, it does not argue, it does not delay. It manifests. That is why careless words in the early hour carry so much weight. A sigh of worry, a muttered complaint, a fearful thought whispered before rising from bed, all become orders written on the scroll of the day. The gate cannot choose for you, it can only amplify what you have chosen to speak. This is why discipline of the tongue is most crucial at dawn. To guard your words then is to guard the course of your entire day. When you understand the morning as a gate, you begin to treat it with reverence. You no longer rush into it thoughtlessly, but you step into it as a ruler enters a chamber, knowing that every decree matters. You rise and say, "Today wealth greets me, today money serves me, today prosperity unfolds." These words are not mere affirmations. They are spiritual laws written at the gate. They move unseen forces into alignment. They send messengers into the marketplace. They magnetize circumstances, people, and opportunities to fulfill what was declared. Imagine the gate as a doorway through which all your affairs must pass. If you hang a sign that says, scarcity, everything that enters will take on the color of lack. If you hang a sign that says, abundance, everything that enters will carry the fragrance of prosperity. You decide which sign to hang with your first words. You may not see the result immediately, but the tone is set, the vibration is cast, and everything that follows aligns itself accordingly. The power of the morning gate is why traditions across time and culture emphasize morning rituals of prayer, meditation, or declaration. The wise have always known that the start of the day determines its unfolding. To begin in silence, to begin in gratitude. To begin in command is to align with the highest order. To begin in complaint, to begin in worry. To begin in doubt is to set in motion a day of confusion. The gate amplifies both equally, it does not discriminate. It manifests what is spoken with precision. This is why money responds so swiftly to the words at the morning gate. When you declare, money flows to me easily, money comes in perfect ways, money is my servant. The gate carries that decree into the hours ahead, and you find doors opening, opportunities presenting themselves, ideas arising. It may come through expected means, or through channels you never imagined. But the decree set the energy in motion. If instead you rise and say, I never have enough, I must struggle all day, nothing works out. Then the gate faithfully produces a day where money slips away, efforts feel hard, and outcomes disappoint. The morning gate is not only about external money, but also about your inner posture toward it. If you enter with fear, the day reflects fear. If you enter with authority, the day reflects authority. To say, I am aligned with wealth, I am one with supply, I am open to all abundance today, is to step through the gate wearing the crown of prosperity. Every interaction, every decision, every thought throughout the day begins to mirror that crown. To say, I cannot, I lack, I am unworthy, is to step through the gate in rags, and the day mirrors that garment. Think of the morning gate as a canvas. The first brushstrokes determine the entire painting. If you begin with dark, fearful strokes, the whole picture carries that shadow. If you begin with bright, bold strokes of abundance, the whole painting radiates prosperity. You cannot paint with despair and expect a masterpiece of wealth. You cannot speak lack and expect riches. The brush is in your hand each morning, and the canvas is always fresh. It is also a gate of momentum. What you declare at the beginning gains strength as the hours progress. A decree of wealth at dawn grows into unexpected opportunities by noon and visible money by evening. A decree of lack at dawn grows into frustration by noon and disappointment by evening. The gate multiplies what it receives. A small seed of prosperity spoken in faith becomes a tree of visible results. A small seed of fear spoken in doubt becomes a tangle of obstacles. The morning gate asks for intentionality. It does not require long speeches or complex rituals. It requires clarity, certainty, and alignment. A single phrase spoken with conviction. Today money flows to me in overflowing measure. Carries more power than 100 words spoken with doubt. The gate listens not only to words but to the tone, the feeling, the belief beneath them. When you speak with authority, the gate recognizes it and opens wide. Every morning you are given a new chance, a fresh gate, a clean threshold. Yesterday's words do not have to dictate today's decree, unless you repeat them. The gate does not carry over complaints unless you bring them again. It does not carry over failures unless you drag them into the new dawn. Each sunrise is a gift, a reset, an opportunity to declare anew. And what you declare at this gate is what you live throughout the day. Prosperity is your rightful inheritance. Claim it daily with authority. From the moment you awaken to the truth of your divine supply, you realize that money, wealth, and abundance are not favors bestowed at random, but birthrights already prepared for you. The universe is not stingy, nor does it measure your worth by toil and struggle. It is overflowing, ceaseless, abundant, and you are heir to its riches. Yet inheritance must be claimed. A child may be the rightful heir to a great estate, but if he never steps forward to claim it, the estate lies untouched. So it is with prosperity. Unless you claim it with words, with faith, with command, it remains dormant. To claim prosperity is not to beg for it, not to chase it, not to doubt its existence. It is to rise each day and say with authority, "Wealth belongs to me now. I live in prosperity, money flows freely into my life." These are not vain repetitions but affirmations of truth. They align your mind with the law of supply, and the law responds by shaping circumstances, opportunities, and events to mirror the declaration. Authority is the key, for without authority the words are empty. When you speak as owner, the inheritance moves toward you. When you speak as beggar, it remains out of reach. Prosperity is not granted to a chosen few. It is not reserved for the fortunate or the strong. It is universal, and it is available to all who recognize and claim it. Just as sunlight shines on every roof, so prosperity radiates toward every soul. Some close their shutters with doubt and fear, while others open wide with faith and command. The difference is not in the light but in the willingness to receive. You claim your inheritance not by chance but by choice. Each morning, each moment, you either affirm prosperity or deny it. Authority is exercised in the words you speak. The spoken word is a declaration of ownership. When you say, "I am prosperous," you are not describing a condition you hope for, you are enforcing a law that already exists. When you say, "Money serves me now," you are not making a request, you are issuing an order backed by universal law. Prosperity is the natural state of the universe, and authority is the means by which you align with it. To claim prosperity daily is to build momentum. A single declaration has power, but repeated declarations establish permanence. Just as water wears through stone by constant flow, so do daily claims wear away the old patterns of lack and replace them with patterns of wealth. Each morning is a new opportunity to claim your inheritance afresh. The repetition is not because the universe forgets, but because the human mind must be trained to accept. Old thoughts of scarcity rise easily. They must be replaced again and again with decrees of prosperity until abundance becomes the only natural thought. Think of a title deed to a house. The deed proves ownership, but if you never enter the house, never walk its halls, never live within its rooms, you do not experience the benefits of ownership. Prosperity is the deed already signed in your favor, but daily claiming it is like walking into the house and living in it. Without the daily step of faith and command, the inheritance is yours in law but not in experience. Claiming it makes it real in your affairs, not just in theory. Many live as hares who never claim. They say, "Maybe one day I will prosper. Maybe fortune will smile on me." These are words of delay, words of uncertainty. The inheritance waits, untouched. Others say, "I must struggle and labor endlessly, and then perhaps I will earn prosperity." These are words of limitation. They make prosperity conditional on toil, when in truth it is already prepared. The one who claims boldly says, "Prosperity is mine now. I do not wait. I do not beg. I do not question. I take what belongs to me." And the universe answers with visible supply. Authority does not mean arrogance. It means alignment with truth. The law of prosperity does not yield to doubt, but it responds instantly to confidence. When you command with certainty, you are not forcing the law, you are cooperating with it. To say, "I prosper daily. Wealth flows to me without struggle," is not to boast but to acknowledge the order of things. You are not demanding what does not exist. You are affirming what always has been. The law of gravity holds whether you believe it or not, and the law of supply holds whether you doubt it or not. But only when you align with it consciously through command do you experience its fullness. Claiming prosperity daily also guards you against the illusions of lack. The world may show shortage, crisis, or difficulty, but your daily decree cuts through appearances. When you say, "I live in abundance," you establish yourself above the illusion. The universe does not run out. Supply is infinite. The inheritance is unshakable. Appearances change, but truth remains, and truth is abundance. To speak it daily is to anchor yourself in that truth until appearances shift to match. Authority in claiming prosperity is strengthened by consistency. A single spark ignites, but a steady flame illuminates. Your words each day are sparks, and as they accumulate, they create a fire that burns away doubt and lights the path of abundance. Some give up after 1 or 2 declarations saying, "It does not work." But the inheritance does not vanish, it waits. Authority is demonstrated in persistence, in refusing to let old thoughts of lack regain control. Every day is another step into ownership. When you claim prosperity, you also claim your relationship to money. You stop treating money as elusive or scarce, and you begin to treat it as obedient and faithful. You say, "Money comes to me in perfect ways, money serves me, money is plentiful." In this way, you train not only your mind, but also your affairs to reflect the truth. Money ceases to be a source of fear and becomes a trusted servant. Authority transforms the relationship, and daily claiming reinforces it. Prosperity as inheritance also carries responsibility. To claim wealth daily is not merely to gather money, but to use it with wisdom, joy, and generosity. Authority is not domination but stewardship. The more you align with the law of prosperity, the more you recognize that abundance flows best when it is circulated freely. Money comes easily, but it also serves highest when guided by intention. Your daily decree may include, "I prosper richly," and "I use wealth wisely." This anchors not only supply but also purpose. The rightful inheritance of prosperity is never exhausted. You may claim it today, tomorrow, and forever, and it continues to flow. Unlike earthly inheritances that diminish when divided, this spiritual inheritance multiplies as it is claimed. The more you declare it, the more it expands. The more you use it, the more it returns. The law is generous, the supply is endless, and the inheritance is sure. To step into it requires no permission, no condition, only authority. Commanding the morning aligns you with divine order and abundance. When you rise and speak words of power at the dawn, you are not only arranging the affairs of your day, but also synchronizing yourself with the universal rhythm that governs all creation. Divine order is the law that holds planets in their orbits, that directs seasons in their cycles, that causes seed to sprout and rivers to flow. It is perfect, harmonious, unfailing. When you align with it, your life reflects that same harmony. Money flows without struggle. Opportunities appear in perfect timing, and abundance unfolds naturally. To command the morning is to step into agreement with this order, declaring that your day will not be ruled by confusion or lack but by prosperity and clarity. Abundance is the nature of divine order. There is no scarcity in the universe. The stars do not run out of light. The oceans do not withhold their tides. The trees do not ration their fruit. Everything in creation demonstrates overflow, generosity, continual supply. Scarcity exists only in the mind that resists this truth. When you command your morning, you dissolve resistance and affirm abundance as the law of your life. You say, "I align with plenty. I align with overflowing good. I align with money flowing in perfect ways." These words shift your consciousness into harmony with what already is. The supply does not need to be created, it needs only to be claimed. When you fail to command the morning, you leave the gate open to disorder. Fear, worry, and doubt rush in to govern the day. You find yourself tossed by circumstances, reacting to whatever appears, forgetting that you hold the power to decree. Divine order waits to be acknowledged, but if you do not claim it, you experience the disorder of human limitation. The alignment must be conscious. Just as a musician tunes an instrument before playing, so must you tune yourself each morning to the law of prosperity. Your words are the tuning fork. They set the vibration that carries through the hours ahead. Commanding the morning also breaks the illusion of randomness. Many believe money arrives by chance, by luck, by coincidence. But in divine order, nothing is random. Every supply, every opportunity, every open door is the result of law. When you declare, "Today I prosper, today money comes to me, today abundance manifests," you are not hoping for luck. You are activating law. Divine order hears your decree and arranges events accordingly. A meeting happens at the right time, an idea rises in your mind, a payment arrives unexpectedly, but none of it is accident. It is the visible unfolding of the invisible alignment you set at dawn. The morning is the axis of alignment. It is the point at which you decide whether to live in order or disorder, abundance or scarcity, faith or fear. Commanding it is not optional if you desire prosperity. It is the foundation. Without command you drift. With command you direct. The difference is the difference between a ship adrift at sea and a ship guided by compass and captain. Divine order is the compass, and your decree is the hand that sets the course. Abundance responds swiftly to those who align with order. When you say, "Everything I need comes to me in perfect ways," you are not forcing events. You are stepping into the current already flowing in your favor. The river of supply never stops, but if you row against it with doubt, you tire and struggle. Command turns the boat to move with the current. Suddenly money appears with ease, because you are no longer resisting. Opportunities come because you are flowing in harmony. Ideas flourish because you are aligned with creativity itself. Disorder, on the other hand, creates blockages. To wake and say, "I never have enough. Today will be difficult, money is scarce," is to command against divine order. The law cannot deny itself. But you can deny yourself the experience of its abundance by decreeing lack. The universe reflects your decree faithfully, whether it is wealth or want. To align is to speak in harmony with truth. To misalign is to speak in discord with it. The gate of morning amplifies whichever you choose. The alignment is not only for money but for the entire flow of life. Yet money is included, for it too is part of divine order. Just as air is provided for breath and water for thirst, so money is provided for exchange and expansion. To think otherwise is to separate money from spirit, when in truth it is one expression of the same supply. When you command your morning and say, "Money flows to me as part of divine abundance," you remove separation and allow wealth to appear as naturally as oxygen. Commanding the morning also restores authority to its rightful place, within you. Divine order does not force itself upon you. It waits for your agreement. The moment you speak, "I align with abundance," the law begins to work visibly. The moment you doubt and declare lack, the law reflects that too. Authority is exercised in choosing the decree. Every morning you decide whether you will cooperate with the harmony of the universe or resist it with fear. Command is the act of choosing cooperation. The discipline of commanding the morning is simple but profound. It does not require long hours, but it does require consistency. A few words spoken with conviction can transform an entire day. I live in abundance. Money comes to me easily. I walk in divine order. These statements, spoken at dawn, ripple through the hours ahead. Every encounter is shaped by them. Every task is infused with them. Every thought carries their vibration. Without such words, the day is unanchored, swayed by appearances and moods. With them, the day is anchored in law. To align with divine order each morning is to walk in certainty. You no longer wonder if supply will appear. You know it will, because you have decreed it. You no longer doubt if opportunities will arise. You know they will, because order has arranged them. This certainty itself attracts money, for money gravitates to confidence, not to hesitation. Your words in the morning establish the tone of confidence, and everything follows accordingly. Abundance is not something you chase but something you allow. Commanding the morning removes barriers to allowance. Fear is a barrier, doubt is a barrier, complaint is a barrier. When you rise and say, "I align with wealth, I align with prosperity, I align with perfect order," those barriers fall away. Money flows because it no longer meets resistance. Opportunities come because they are no longer blocked. Supply manifests because you have opened the channel. The alignment is ongoing, renewed each day. Yesterday's decree brought yesterday's abundance, but today you stand at a new gate. Commanding the morning is not a one-time act but a daily practice. Each sunrise presents another opportunity to align, another opportunity to declare. Divine order is eternal, but your agreement with it is expressed freshly each day. Authority is exercised again and again, and with each exercise, abundance becomes more natural, more visible, more overflowing. When you understand that commanding the morning aligns you with divine order and abundance, you see the importance of guarding those first words and thoughts. They are not idle, they are creative. They are not background, they are blueprint. The order of the universe is perfect, but your alignment with it determines whether you experience wealth or want, flow or struggle, clarity or confusion. To command is to choose alignment, and to align is to live in abundance.
You've been saying the affirmations for months, but deep down, nothing has changed. Why? Because the words mean nothing if your belief system stays the same. You have been polishing the surface while the engine underneath remains untouched. You have been painting the walls of a house that stands on a faulty foundation. The words are the paint. Your belief system is the foundation, and a foundation of lack cannot support a reality of abundance, no matter how beautifully you paint the walls. You have been sending your words out like little paper boats into a stormy sea of contrary belief, and you wonder why they never reach the shore. Here is the truth. The law is always working. It has been working perfectly your entire life. It is not broken, and neither are you. The problem is not the law. The problem is the instruction you have been feeding it. You see, your affirmations, your spoken words, are like messengers sent to the great creative power of your subconscious mind. But your subconscious does not speak the language of words alone. It is far more ancient, more primal than that. It speaks the language of feeling, the language of imagery, the language of identity. So when you say, "I am wealthy," but your nervous system screams, "No, you are not. You have never been. You are lying," who do you think your subconscious believes? It believes the feeling. It believes the deep, cellular, historical belief. It believes the identity you have been rehearsing for years. It takes that feeling of lack, of fear, of scarcity, and it says, "Ah, this is the blueprint. This is the truth. I will now create more circumstances that match this feeling." Your words become hollow echoes in a chamber that is already vibrating with an older, stronger frequency. The great spiritual teacher Florence Scovel Shinn stated it with breathtaking clarity. She said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." Read that again. Not what he says he is receiving, not what he wishes he were receiving, but what he sees himself in the theater of his own mind, in the core of his own being, as worthy and capable of receiving. This is the missing bridge, the chasm between the words you speak and the reality you live. It is the distance between a hollow mantra and an embodied belief. Today, we are not just going to cross that bridge. We are going to become the bridge. We are going to rewire your belief system from the inside out, so that your words are no longer empty wishes, but powerful wands of creation. Let's begin. To understand how to build a new reality, you must first become a gentle, compassionate archaeologist of your current one. You must be willing to see what you have already built, without judgment, without shame, but with a clear and loving eye. Think about the area of your life where you feel the most stuck. Let's take money, for example. You say the words, "I am a magnet for financial abundance." You write it in your journal. You might even have it on a sticky note on your laptop. It's a beautiful phrase. But let's look at the emotional reality. An unexpected expense lands in your inbox. What is the immediate visceral reaction in your body? Is it a calm knowing that all is well, that you are supported? Or is it a jolt of adrenaline, a tightening in your chest, a familiar sinking feeling of, "Here we go again, there's never enough"? That feeling, that is your real affirmation. When you think about asking for a raise, what is the quiet, looping story in your mind? Is it, "I provide immense value and I am worthy of generous compensation"? Or is it a whisper of, "They'll say no, I shouldn't ask for too much, I should just be grateful for what I have"? That whisper, that is your true belief system at work. It's the same with love. You can affirm, "I attract my perfect loving partner." But if you spend your evenings scrolling through images of other happy couples with a pang of envy, if you consistently choose partners who require you to shrink yourself, if your internal dialogue is a constant critique of your body, your personality, your worthiness, then your lived reality is a direct reflection of that inner state. Your subconscious mind, that faithful servant, is simply obeying the most consistent, most emotionally charged command it receives. It isn't listening to the pretty words you say for 5 minutes in the morning. It's listening to the 24-hour broadcast of your deepest, truest feelings about yourself and the world. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that man must be careful of his words, for they go forth into the invisible and build life and death. But this goes deeper than just spoken words. It's about the silent words you speak to yourself, the words of your body language, the words of your assumptions, the words of your reactions. These are the bricks and mortar of your reality. And here is where the power returns to you. Here is the great, illuminating moment. You are not a victim of this process. You are the master of it. You have been a master creator all along, flawlessly manifesting a reality that perfectly matches your dominant inner state. You are not broken. The law is not broken. You have simply been running an old program, an outdated blueprint handed down to you by family, by society, by past experiences. Today, you become the conscious programmer. Today, you reclaim the architect's pen. You are not trying to learn a new skill. You are simply remembering the power that has been yours all along. You are choosing, with intention, to give your faithful servant a new set of instructions. And this time, the instructions will align with the deepest desires of your soul. This is not about force. It is not about fighting with your mind. It is about rhythm. It is about gentle, persistent repatterning. We don't reprogram our minds through struggle. We reprogram them through sacred, consistent practice. I am going to give you a simple 3-step process. I call it the sacred rewiring practice. This is not a chore. This is a daily act of devotion to yourself. It is the most important meeting you will take all day. Find a quiet space, a sacred moment, morning or night. Put a hand on your heart. Breathe and begin. Step 1. The gentle witnessing. Before you can build a new house, you must see the foundation of the old one. You cannot release a belief you are not aware you are holding. So, for the first few minutes, you will simply witness. With infinite gentleness, ask yourself, what is the old, untrue story I have been living? Let it surface without judgment. Perhaps it's the story of, I have to work hard for every dollar, or good things don't last, or I am always the one who gets left behind, or I'm not qualified enough. Don't fight it. Don't wrestle with it. Just see it. Acknowledge it. Thank it even. It was a program that likely kept you safe at one point in your life. It was a shield, but you no longer need it. Now, you will consciously interrupt this loop. You are not going to leap from I am worthless to I am a magnificent goddess in one go. The nervous system will reject that. Instead, we build a bridge of neutrality. You will speak a simple, powerful phrase aloud, something like, I see this belief. I am willing to see this differently now. Or, I am open to letting this pattern go. Or, this was a story, and I am ready to write a new one. Feel the shift. It's a subtle release. You are not denying the old belief's existence. You are simply revoking its power. You are moving it from the driver's seat to the passenger seat. Step 2. The embodied affirmation. This is where we reclaim the true power of the word. Most people repeat affirmations like they are reading a grocery list. We will not do that. We will turn your affirmation into a full, felt, sensory experience. Choose 1, maybe 2, affirmations that speak to the new reality you are creating. Make them feel good. Make them resonate. Now, we combine the 3 essential elements: word, vision, and emotion. First, you say the word aloud. Let's use the example. I am divinely guided to my perfect place, my perfect work, my perfect people. Say it slowly. Let the sound of your own voice become a frequency that tunes your energy field. Second, you create the vision. Close your eyes. What does that look like? Don't just see a vague concept. See the details. See yourself walking into an office where you feel valued and alive. See yourself laughing with friends who truly see and celebrate you. See the light in your own eyes as you look in the mirror. Your subconscious mind thinks in pictures. Give it a clear, beautiful picture to work with. Third, and most importantly, you invoke the emotion. This is the fuel. This is the magic. Florence said, you must act as if you had already received. Acting is feeling. Ask yourself, what would I feel in my body if this were already my reality? Would you feel a sense of peace in your chest? Let yourself feel that peace now. Would you feel your shoulders drop, released from a heavy burden? Let them drop now. Would you feel a quiet confidence, a solidness in your core? Breathe into that feeling now. This is not pretending. This is rehearsing. You are emotionally rehearsing your future. You are sending the most powerful signal possible to the universe and to your own subconscious. This is who I am now. This feeling is my new home. Do this for 5 minutes. Say the word, see the vision, feel the emotion. Let them merge into one seamless, powerful current of creation. Step 3, the sacred declaration. As you begin this practice, the old programming will not go quietly. It will flare up. It is the mind's last attempt to keep you in the familiar zone of what it knows. A bill will arrive, and the old panic will rise. A critical comment will be made, and the old feeling of unworthiness will surface. This is a critical moment. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the work is working. The old shadows are coming up to be cleared by the new light. In this moment, you do not shrink. You do not spiral. You speak back. You use what Florence called your word of power. You consciously, audibly override the old frequency. The old thought comes, see? It's not working. You'll never have enough. You speak back, out loud if you can, with quiet conviction. Every channel is clear, every plan succeeds. I am divinely supplied with all that I require. The old feeling surfaces. I'm not good enough for that opportunity. You speak back, anchoring yourself in the truth. I am a perfect idea in the divine mind, and I now manifest my perfect self. My talent is in demand. This is not a battle, it is a redirection. Florence taught that the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Man's thoughts, deeds, and words return to him sooner or later with astounding accuracy. When you speak back to the fear, you are catching the old boomerang of lack and consciously throwing out a new one of faith and abundance. You are training your mind with loving firmness to obey a new authority, your conscious, awakened self. As you commit to this practice, be gentle with yourself. You are planting seeds in soil that was once hard and rocky. It takes time for the roots to take hold. There will be a period where your inner world is shifting profoundly, but your outer world has not yet caught up. This is the most sacred and often most challenging phase of transformation. Do not lose faith here. Think of it like flipping a great circuit breaker in the basement of your mind. For a moment, the old lights flicker and go out. There might be a period of seeming darkness or confusion before the new, brilliant, steady light comes on. That flickering is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the rewiring is happening. The old reality was built over decades. Be patient as you build the new one over days and weeks. The discomfort you feel is the friction of transformation. The moments of doubt are the death throes of an old identity that no longer serves you. Stay the course. Every time you choose to witness the old story without believing it, you loosen its grip. Every time you embody the feeling of your new reality, you strengthen its foundation. Every time you speak back to fear with faith, you reclaim another piece of your sovereign power. You are not just attracting things, a new job, more money, a relationship. You are building something far more profound. You are building a new identity. You are shifting from a woman who hopes for the best to a woman who expects and allows the best. You are shifting from a woman who chases approval to a woman who is the source of her own approval. You are shifting from a woman who operates from fear and lack to a woman who knows, deep in her bones, that she is the beloved, worthy, and magnificently supplied creator of her own life. This is the real work. The outer world will always reshape itself around this inner shift. It has no other choice. It is the law. So, here is the truth, and here is the choice. The truth is, you are not broken. You have never been. You are not a flawed student of spiritual law, struggling to get it right. You are a master of it, who is simply waking up to her own immense, innate power. The affirmations didn't fail you. The words were just waiting for you to fill them with the breath of true belief, with the light of inner vision, with the pulse of genuine feeling. Your word is your wand, as Florence taught. But it only holds magic when you wield it with the full conviction of your heart, with the steadfast faith of your soul, with the unshakable trust in who you truly are. The choice now is yours. Will you continue to speak hollow words into a system that is programmed for an old reality? Or will you begin the sacred rhythmic work of rewiring your very being to become a vibrational match for the miracles that are already waiting for you? This is your moment of reclamation. I invite you to make a declaration, not just to me, but to yourself, to the universe. Let this be the moment your shift begins. Go to the comments and declare the old belief you are now ready to release and the new truth you are choosing to embody in its place. This is not just a comment. This is a contract with your soul. Your words have power. Your choice has power. Your feeling has power. What new truth are you choosing to feel, to see, and to become, starting right now?
You did not come across this message by accident. You are here because your soul has summoned it. Only future millionaires will feel the magnetic pull of these words. And you, dear listener, are one of them. You are divinely guided, you are divinely equipped, and your supply is already here. The walls of limitation are crumbling before you now. The ideas that once kept you small are dissolving in the light of truth. You are stepping into the vibration of wealth, not someday, not later now. For there is no future in the eyes of spirit. There is only now. And now, you are becoming all that you have silently dared to believe. You are rich in ideas. You are rich in opportunities. You are rich in divine favor. Speak this with me now. My success is a divine plan. My path is clear. Every dollar I desire is already mine in the realm of spirit. I do not chase, I attract. I do not worry, I align. I do not doubt, I decree. I am a millionaire in vibration, and so shall it be in form. Every word you say from this moment is casting a spell for your prosperity. Every thought is shaping your millionaire reality. Wealth flows to you with ease, for you are no longer in resistance, you are in radiant receptivity. You are no longer trying to make it happen, you are letting it happen. Your faith is your fortune. Your word is your wand. And you, beloved soul, were never meant to live in lack. You were meant to rise, to shine, to flourish, to overflow. This is not just a video. This is a prophecy spoken into the fabric of your destiny. Say it again. I am ready. I am willing. I am wealthy. I am one with the infinite supply. You are watching this because the universe is whispering, it's your time now. I do not wait to become a millionaire, I think, speak, and act as one now. My thoughts are powerful. My words are magic. My actions are aligned. I do not dream from a distance, I embody the dream now. I breathe in wealth. I exhale limitation. I release the idea that I must chase, and I embrace the truth that I only need to align. I am aligned. I am ready. I am becoming, and yet I already am. There is no distance between me and my abundance. There is no waiting room in the spiritual realm. All that I desire, all that I declare, all that I see in the quiet spaces of my heart is already mine in the realm of truth. I simply walk it out. I step into it. I accept it. I receive it. I receive with grace. I receive with peace. I receive with knowing that I am worthy, that I am prepared, that I am chosen for this level of success. I walk with certainty. I walk with divine rhythm. I walk in tune with the frequency of wealth. Every step I take is ordered. Every choice I make is an echo of my millionaire mind. My vision is clear. My faith is strong. My vibration is high. I no longer wait for the world to call me successful. I call myself successful now. I no longer wait for permission. I am already approved. I no longer question if it's for me. I know it's for me. I know it's mine. I know it's done. I dress with excellence. I show up as if I've already arrived. I speak as if my wealth has already manifested. I honor the energy of money with gratitude, with stewardship, with reverence. I no longer shrink for comfort. I expand for purpose. I no longer play small. I rise in alignment with my calling. I no longer ask if it's too much. I affirm that it's exactly what I was made for. I decide with confidence. I choose boldly. I choose growth. I choose opportunities. I say yes to things that stretch me. I say yes to things that match my future. I say yes to the new, to the unknown, to the unseen but already prepared path. I say yes to wealth. I say yes to freedom. I say yes to abundance in all its forms. I am already who I came here to be. I feel it. I know it. I live it. It is not in the future, it is in my frequency now. I carry the energy of someone who is trusted with riches. I carry the light of someone who will multiply blessings. I carry the calm of someone who is no longer striving but allowing, no longer begging but claiming, no longer hoping but knowing. My identity is rich. My mindset is rich. My energy is rich. My habits are rich. My circle is rich. My words are rich. I hold it all in peace. I welcome it all in ease. I walk forward gently, but surely. The millionaire within me is not coming, it is awakened. It is alive. It is rising. With every breath I take, with every word I speak, with every truth I claim. God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I do not beg for money, I align with it. I do not compete, I create. I do not fear lack, I live in divine flow. What is mine already knows its way to me. What belongs to me cannot be taken, cannot be delayed, cannot be blocked. I rest in that truth. I relax in that knowing. I receive in peace. I am connected to an endless source, a source that never runs dry, a source that always provides, always supports, always multiplies. I am not limited by the economy. I am not confined by my past. I am not defined by numbers, I am defined by truth. And the truth is, I am wealthy by divine design. I am prosperous by spiritual inheritance. I am supplied, supported, sustained. I do not need to hustle for worth. I do not need to chase approval. I do not need to force what is already mine. I let it come. I let it unfold. I let it manifest in perfect timing. My supply is not earned by struggle, it is received by faith. I rest in faith. I walk in faith. I speak in faith. I act in faith. Faith opens the gates. Faith attracts the flow. Faith reminds me that I am not alone in this. I am guided. I am led. I am held. I do not compete, I create. I create with calm. I create with joy. I create from overflow. I am not here to win in comparison. I am here to win in alignment. There is enough for all. There is more than enough for me. I do not worry if someone else is ahead. I stay grounded in my own journey. I stay planted in my own purpose. My lane is blessed. My path is sacred. My future is secure. What is mine cannot be taken. What is divine cannot be lost. What is for me is drawn to me through my belief, through my vision, through my decision to rise above fear and walk in trust. I no longer wonder how. I no longer stress about when. I only return to the truth. I am already wealthy in the invisible, and that invisible is forming into the visible. That unseen is shaping into what I can touch, hold, and live within. Money is not my master, it is my servant. It responds to my energy. It flows to my confidence. It mirrors my inner state. The more peace I carry, the more prosperity I attract. The more calm I live in, the more clarity I receive. I am safe to want more. I am safe to receive more. I am safe to rise. I am safe to shine. I am safe to be trusted with riches. I am open. I am worthy. I am available. I am already surrounded by provision. I see signs of it. I feel the flow of it. I trust the truth of it. Every need is met. Every desire is blessed. Every dream is supported by divine substance that never runs out and never holds back. Every dollar that belongs to me finds me now. It knows my name, it knows my energy, it knows my belief. It flows to me easily, it flows to me freely, it flows to me faithfully. I do not search in desperation, I receive with certainty. I do not knock on closed doors, I wait as new doors open wide. I am open. I am ready. I am aligned. The channels of income are open. The river of wealth is flowing. The pathways of prosperity are clearing. I trust that what I need will show up in the way that is best. I let go of control and step into calm. I let go of force and step into flow. I let go of doubt and choose divine timing. I release fear. I release pressure. I release the habit of worrying. I welcome ease. I welcome grace. I welcome abundance in all forms. Opportunities come in expected and unexpected ways. I am not limited by logic. I am not confined by history. I am not trapped by what others think is possible. I believe in miracles. I believe in sudden breakthroughs. I believe in divine orchestration. I believe that the universe is always working on my behalf, even when I cannot see it. Even when it looks still, the movement is happening. Even when it feels quiet, the shift is being made. I do not chase. I magnetize. I do not beg. I believe. I do not strain. I surrender. I trust that the energy I hold is enough. The love I give is enough. The action I take in peace is enough. I magnetize through my mindset. I attract through my calm. I draw wealth in by standing still in my knowing that I deserve it. I do not run after it, I draw it to me. I do not panicky praise. I do not grasp, I give thanks in advance. I am safe to receive. I am worthy of overflow. I am ready for more. I have released guilt. I have released shame. I have released the old voice that said I have to work harder to be worthy. I am worthy now. I am ready now. I am rising now. The more I rest in alignment, the more I receive. The more I trust, the faster it flows. The more I focus on peace, the more doors appear. I allow money to come with calm. I allow blessings to come with softness. I allow ease to be my way of life. I live in trust. I speak in faith. I think in wealth. I carry the vibration of someone who always has more than enough, because that is now who I am. Every dollar that belongs to me is already on its way. Every opportunity that matches my energy is already unfolding. Every blessing with my name on it is getting closer and closer. I am the receiver. I am the magnet. I am the match for more. I walk by faith, not by fear. I rest in knowing, not in needing. I trust what I cannot see more than what I can. My faith is my compass. My faith is my clarity. My faith is my comfort. I hold the energy of someone who knows it is already done. I carry the vibration of someone who does not doubt. I live in the space where the unseen is more real than the visible. I speak my good into existence. I speak life. I speak wealth. I speak success. I speak peace. My words are not empty, they are electric. My words create form. My words shape the unseen into something I can touch. I declare what I desire without hesitation. I affirm what is mine without delay. I do not ask for permission, I speak with power. I do not wait for proof, I speak with peace. I let go of how and focus on the now. I do not need to figure it all out. I do not need to know every step. I do not need to control every outcome. I surrender the how. I trust the process. I trust the journey. I trust the divine plan that is unfolding perfectly for me. I trust that every step I take in faith leads me somewhere good. I trust that every move I make in alignment brings me closer to my abundance. My unwavering belief moves mountains. My steady energy unlocks doors. My peaceful expectation calls in miracles. I do not try to force my future into shape, I allow it to unfold with grace. I do not question every delay, I understand that divine timing is a form of protection. I do not fear the quiet. I know that silence is sacred preparation. The invisible becomes visible by my word. My faith makes it real. My words give it shape. My belief brings it forth. I believe in what I speak. I believe in what I dream. I believe in what I declare. I do not waver. I do not hesitate. I do not look back. I speak forward. I move forward. I trust forward. I live in a state of calm creation. I am not rushed. I am not frantic. I am not anxious. I create from stillness. I create from clarity. I create from connection with my source. I know that everything is working together for my wealth. I know that everything is aligning behind the scenes. I know that my supply is closer than it seems. I hold the frequency of certainty. I sit in the energy of knowing. I breathe in the truth that faith is enough. I don't need force. I don't need pressure. I don't need proof. I only need to believe. And I do. I believe deeply. I believe boldly. I believe peacefully. Because the one who believes receives, and I am the one who believes. Every no is a step closer to my yes. Every closed door is a signpost, not a setback. I no longer see rejection as pain, I see it as protection. I no longer feel denied, I feel redirected. I no longer question the timing, I trust the perfection. Everything is always moving in my favor, even when it doesn't look like it. Everything is always unfolding for my highest good, even when I don't understand it. I am safe to trust. I am safe to let go. I am safe to be still and believe. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. When things fall away, better things fall into place. When people leave, peace enters. When plans collapse, miracles rebuild. I do not cling, I release. I do not chase, I attract. I do not fear what I lose, I focus on what I'm about to gain. What is mine is magnetized to me. What is meant for me cannot pass me by. I let the detours take me to deeper clarity. I let the delays prepare me for more. I let the endings shape me for something greater. I am undisturbed by appearances. I no longer panic when things shift. I no longer spiral when doors close. I no longer break down at the first sign of change. I breathe. I trust. I affirm. I remind myself that I walk by faith. I remind myself that everything I see is temporary. I remind myself that behind every challenge is a blessing dressed in disguise. My energy remains grounded. My thoughts remain calm. My heart remains open. I know the truth. Nothing real can be taken from me. Nothing that is for me will slip away. Nothing that belongs to me will ever leave without replacement. I do not hold on with fear. I release with peace. I do not beg for opportunities to return. I stand ready for better ones to arrive. I do not replay the past, I rehearse the future. I visualize my success. I affirm my path. I choose a new story. I am being guided. I am being shaped. I am being strengthened. I let the trials refine me, not define me. I let the disappointments pass through me. I do not absorb them, I release them. I do not carry them, I rise above them. I am not broken, I am being rebuilt stronger. I am not being punished, I am being positioned. Every no has made me wiser. Every delay has made me deeper. Every loss has made me lighter. I carry less fear. I carry more faith. I carry less doubt. I carry more clarity. I no longer resist the redirection. I flow with it. I rise with it. I grow through it. I understand now that rejection is not the end. It is the turning point. It is the divine whisper that something greater is on the way. And I believe that. I believe it with softness. I believe it with strength. I believe it with peace. I speak wealth and it appears. I speak favor and it surrounds me. I speak millions and the universe listens. My words are not ordinary, my words are divine tools. My tongue holds power. My voice holds frequency. Every word I release carries intention. Every word I speak becomes a seed. Every word I plant grows into the life I imagine. I speak gently. I speak clearly. I speak truth. I speak wealth. My word is law. What I declare must come to pass. What I affirm must find its way to me. I speak not from desperation, but from knowing. I speak not from lack, but from abundance. I speak not from fear, but from deep faith. I align my words with my vision. I align my language with my future. I align my voice with the vibration of overflow. I speak peace. I speak power. I speak purpose. My tongue is a wand. I do not waste it on worry. I do not use it to repeat lack. I do not speak what I don't want. I only speak what I choose to welcome. I speak overflow. I speak financial ease. I speak clarity in decisions. I speak open doors. I speak streams of income that flow with grace. I speak freedom in every area of my life. I speak new opportunities. I speak unexpected blessings. I speak divine appointments. What I decree, I receive. When I say, I am wealthy, wealth hears me. When I say, I am ready, the universe responds. When I say, I trust, the path becomes clear. I do not just say words, I embody them. I feel them. I believe them. I repeat them until they take root in my spirit. I repeat them until they shift my state. I repeat them until they rewire the way I see myself. I speak the same way a seed is watered gently, daily, patiently. My voice is a vessel. My voice is a bridge between the invisible and the visible. My voice is a tool of creation. I no longer speak what I see, I speak what I know is coming. I no longer echo the noise of the world, I speak the truth of my soul. I no longer repeat limitations, I speak possibilities. I no longer affirm struggle, I affirm solutions. I no longer declare delays, I declare divine timing. My speech is sacred. My voice is trusted. My words are worthy of wealth. I speak not only for myself, but for my future, for my family, for those I will help, for the impact I am here to make. I speak with purpose. I speak with presence. I speak with peace. I speak and I know it is done. I speak and I let go. I speak and I receive. I speak and I smile. Because I know my words create my world. While others wait, I act. While others hesitate, I move. While others question, I decide. I no longer ask if I am ready, I know I am ready. I no longer shrink to fit, I expand to become. I no longer look outside for proof, I look within and find power. I do not need to follow the crowd I was born to lead. I do not need to be accepted, I am already chosen. I do not need to fit in, I am designed to rise. While others fear, I affirm. I affirm my worth. I affirm my calling. I affirm my wealth. I am no longer ruled by fear. I am led by peace. I move with quiet confidence. I move with ease. I move with trust. I affirm my direction even when it's different. I affirm my vision even when others cannot see it. I affirm my future, even when the present feels uncertain. I affirm what is unseen, and that unseen is shaping itself around me. While others doubt, I rise. I rise gently. I rise consistently. I rise in faith. I rise in purpose. I do not wait to be discovered. I discover myself. I do not wait for the perfect moment, I step into the now. I do not wait for a guarantee, I move with inner knowing. I rise from within. I rise through belief. I rise because I was never meant to stay small. I rise because I am called to more. I am the proof that miracles are normal. I am the evidence that alignment works. I am the example of what happens when faith becomes a lifestyle. I am the one who believed, even when it was hard. I am the one who chose peace over panic. I am the one who kept showing up with grace. I am the one who spoke life over my future until it responded. I am not average, I am anointed. I do not settle. I do not surrender to fear. I do not give up when it gets quiet. I trust the quiet. I honor the quiet. I grow in the quiet. I carry something rare. I carry something sacred. I carry something valuable. I am anointed for abundance. I am anointed for leadership. I am anointed for generational change. I feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my rhythm. I feel it in every decision I now make. I am not just watching this. I am living it. These words are not just spoken, they are my mirror. They reflect back to me what I've always known deep down, that I am more than what they see, that I am more than what I was told, that I am becoming more with every breath, every step, every soft, steady affirmation I whisper into the atmosphere. I do not need loud moves to prove I'm rising. I rise in silence. I rise in strength. I rise in truth. Because I know who I am. I know where I'm going. And I trust what's already unfolding. I am aligned with wealth. I am surrounded by divine favor. I am walking in overflow. I am open to receive more than I imagined. I am worthy of all the riches life has for me. I am no longer waiting, I am attracting. I am no longer chasing, I am allowing. I am no longer doubting, I am declaring. I am no longer hoping, I am knowing. I am a magnet for miracles. I am a vessel for abundance. I am a carrier of peace and prosperity. I am chosen. I am ready. I am rising. Everything I speak is shaping my world. Everything I believe is becoming my reality. Everything I need is finding me now. I relax. I trust. I receive.
There is a river of abundance that flows through the universe, and each soul is meant to drink from it freely. This river knows no delay, no resistance, no lack. It moves swiftly, like a golden current, always searching for open hearts and expectant minds. When one aligns their inner word with divine law, money does not trickle in, money flows in, as naturally as the tide greets the shore. Wealth is not something to be chased, it is a presence to be received. When you declare with authority that money comes to you in unexpected ways, you set unseen forces into immediate motion. Invisible channels open. A door that seemed closed gives way. A forgotten path lights up beneath your feet. Money is energy, and energy responds to thought, to feeling, to spoken word. What is spoken with faith becomes substance, for the word is creative. As you speak, so it is formed. Within 10 minutes, the tide of your expectation can shift. The old thought of delay, of waiting, of struggle, falls away. In its place stands a radiant certainty. You do not beg for money, for begging is born of fear. You expect it, because it is yours by divine right. The universe does not withhold. It mirrors. It reflects the image you hold within. If your heart says, I receive, then the world must say, here it is. Money does not come from people, it comes through them. It does not come from one single source, for the universe has infinite channels. It may arrive in a gift, in a forgotten refund, in a sudden opportunity, in a message, in a door opening just when you thought it was too late. Divine supply is clever, swift, and precise. It moves like the wind, sometimes unseen, always undeniable. In this very moment, as you breathe, the current of abundance moves toward you. You may not yet see it with your eyes, but it is already set in motion. The unseen world precedes the seen. Just as a seed begins to sprout underground before a leaf appears, your wealth is already growing beneath the surface. Speak to it, call it forth. Say, I receive unexpected money now. I welcome the flow, and the flow responds. All resistance is but an illusion, a shadow on the bright wall of divine supply. Shadows cannot hold back the sun. Lack cannot hold back abundance. When the inner word is clear, the outer world obeys. The more you trust, the faster the current moves. It is not about time, it is about alignment. 10 minutes are enough when you stand in the vibration of receiving. Money is not distant, it is not delayed, it is already on its way. The universe delights in speed when the soul is ready. And now the soul is ready. To speak your desire with unwavering certainty is to align yourself with the creative law of the universe. Every word carries power, every thought shapes form, and every declaration sows a seed in the unseen garden of supply. When you speak from a place of absolute conviction, the energy of your word becomes a command rather than a wish. It moves through the invisible realm with precision and purpose, calling forth that which is already waiting to be received. Certainty is not loud, nor is it desperate. It is quiet, steady, immovable. It does not tremble or second-guess. It stands like a pillar of light, firm in the knowing that what is spoken must come to pass. The universe listens not to fear, but to faith. It answers the tone of assurance, not the murmur of doubt. When you speak as if your desire is already fulfilled, you speak in the language the universe understands. Certainty is not born of force, but of inner alignment. It is the silent agreement between your heart and the infinite. It says, "This is already mine." And in that moment, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to mirror that truth. A mind that is uncertain sends out a signal of contradiction, building one moment and tearing down the next. But a mind that is unwavering sends out a single clear note, and the universe echoes it back without distortion. Your words become your architecture. Every sentence shapes a wall, every thought lays a brick, and certainty turns that structure from fragile sand into solid stone. When you speak your desire, do not speak from the place of wanting, for wanting implies absence. Speak from the place of possession, from the vibration of already having. To say, "I will receive," is to place your good in the future. To say, "I have received," is to bring it into now. The energy of certainty is magnetic. It does not chase, it attracts. Just as the sun does not run after the planets but holds them in place by its radiance, your certainty holds your desire in orbit until it must come into form. Doubt scatters energy, causing confusion, delay, and resistance. Certainty gathers energy, creating clarity, momentum, and manifestation. This is why it matters not only what you say, but how you say it. A declaration made with trembling hope does not carry the same weight as a declaration made with calm assurance. The tone of your inner voice speaks louder than the words themselves. When you speak with unwavering certainty, even the unseen forces align themselves to fulfill your command. To develop such certainty, one must understand that their desire is not something they must earn. It is already part of their divine inheritance. Abundance does not need convincing, it needs permission. The universe does not operate by negotiation, it responds to conviction. When you say, "Money flows to me easily," and believe it with the full force of your being, every corner of creation begins to conspire in your favor. Doors open, paths clear, and channels reveal themselves. The word unwavering means you do not allow outside appearances to dictate your inner truth. Even if the bank account shows a number that does not reflect your desire, your certainty remains untouched. Appearances are temporary shadows. Truth is eternal. This kind of certainty is not arrogance but spiritual authority. It is the authority of one who knows their place in the divine order. It is the recognition that you are not separate from the flow of abundance but part of it, one with it. Your word is the key that unlocks the door to what is already yours. When you speak, do not plead, do not hope, declare, command, claim. Let your words carry the weight of unshakable belief. Just as the ocean does not doubt its waves, you do not doubt your power to receive. Just as the sun does not question whether it will rise, you do not question whether your good will come. It is already set in motion the moment your word is spoken with certainty. The mind will sometimes whisper doubt, for it has been trained by appearances and past experiences. But certainty is not the absence of doubt. It is the refusal to let doubt rule. It is the steady hand that keeps the ship moving through the storm. It is the voice that says, "I know," even when the senses try to say otherwise. When you speak your desire, feel the truth of it settle in your body like a warm flame. Let that flame burn brighter than the flicker of fear. Let it speak louder than the echo of limitation. In that moment, your word becomes a decree. and the unseen responds as though it has heard the command of a king. Certainty is felt as much as it is spoken. It is in the calmness of your breath, the steadiness of your posture, the quiet power behind your tone. It does not reach or grasp, it simply is. It stands in the present moment unshaken, knowing the outcome is already complete. When you speak your desire from this place, you are not trying to make something happen. You are acknowledging that it is already done. You are aligning your inner state with the reality that already exists in the invisible realm. And when the inner and outer align, manifestation becomes inevitable. Your words create pathways through which energy flows. An uncertain word builds a crooked path. A certain word builds a straight road. When the road is straight, energy flows swiftly, and what you have declared reaches you without detour. This is why the practice of certainty is a discipline of the spirit. It requires training the tongue to speak only truth, training the mind to hold only the image of fulfillment, and training the heart to rest in trust. Each time you choose certainty over doubt, you strengthen the magnetic field around your desire, drawing it closer with irresistible force. The moment you speak your desire with unwavering certainty, you have already shifted timelines. The universe has received your word as law. It does not question. It does not hesitate. It moves according to the pattern you have impressed upon it. This is not a matter of chance, but of spiritual law. Just as gravity responds consistently, so too does the law of supply respond to the certainty of your word. To speak with unwavering certainty is to stand as a creator, not a beggar. It is to know that the unseen obeys your voice not because of force, but because of divine right. It is to stand in the authority of your being and let the universe echo your command. When you hold unwavering certainty, no external condition can shake it. Circumstances may appear otherwise, but they are simply catching up to your declaration. They are rearranging themselves, aligning, adjusting, preparing to reflect what you have already spoken. Time bends to certainty, not the other way around. Your declaration becomes the anchor that holds everything steady as the external shifts. And so you speak once, with power, with clarity, with the calm assurance of one who knows that their word is law. You do not chase after your desire. You stand, and it comes. You do not plead for it. You expect it. You do not wait in fear. You wait in knowing. Money flows through infinite channels, and this truth dissolves the idea that abundance must arrive in only one way. The universe is vast, intricate, and full of pathways unseen by the physical eye. To believe that money can come from only a single source is to place a wall where there should be an open gate. When you release that narrow belief, the flow of supply finds new and surprising ways to reach you. The divine current of provision is never blocked. It simply looks for the clearest path. When one channel appears closed, 1,000 more exist, waiting to open. Money is never lost. It only changes direction. And those who understand this truth walk with ease and quiet confidence, knowing they are never dependent on one stream alone. Every time you tie your expectation to a single person, job, business, or opportunity, you tighten the flow. You say, perhaps without realizing it, that abundance can only wear one face. But abundance has infinite faces. It wears the mask of chance encounters, unexpected gifts, long-forgotten refunds, inspired ideas, and doors you never even knew existed. To limit your belief is to limit the channels through which money can flow. To trust in infinite channels is to stand open to miracles. This openness is not passive. It is a powerful invitation. The moment you declare that money comes to you from expected and unexpected places, you set those unseen channels into motion. Money, like water, seeks the open vessel. If you place a cup beneath a stream, the water fills the cup. If you build a dam, the water flows around it, seeking another opening. When your mind is fixed only on one outcome, it becomes like that dam. But when you loosen your grip, allowing the flow to come from anywhere, you become like a wide riverbank, ready to receive the tide. This is why expectation must be coupled with surrender. Not surrender in weakness, but in trust. You speak your desire with clarity, but you allow the universe to choose the path. It knows the fastest, clearest route, often bypassing the very place you are staring at so intently. The idea of infinite channels lifts you above fear. If one door closes, your mind does not spiral into panic, because you know countless other doors stand ready to open. This dissolves dependency, and dependency is one of the greatest blocks to abundance. When you believe that only one employer, one client, one opportunity can provide for you, you hand your power away. When you understand that supply flows through infinite channels, you reclaim that power. No single circumstance can hold your good hostage. No person or situation controls the river of wealth. The universe is the source. People and circumstances are merely vessels. Your belief in infinite channels also sharpens your awareness. You begin to notice what you once overlooked. A casual conversation becomes a doorway. A message you almost ignored contains an opportunity. A problem that once seemed like a dead end reveals a golden path. Infinite channels are always around you, but only the open mind can see them. Doubt narrows your vision, trust expands it. When you trust in infinite channels, you stop staring at the closed door and turn to see the open gate right beside it. Money is often waiting just beyond the veil of rigid expectation. This is why gratitude plays such a powerful role in attracting abundance. When you are grateful for the flow that already exists, you signal the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude opens new channels because it removes the feeling of lack. Lack closes the heart. Gratitude opens it wide. In the open heart, money finds an easy way. The channels are not forced open, they are invited. Just as sunlight pours into a room when the curtains are drawn back, abundance rushes in when the mind stops clinging to narrow ideas. The infinite nature of supply means that opportunities can appear in ways that seem illogical to the rational mind. This is why it is important not to question how the flow will come. The how belongs to the universe. Your task is to hold the clear intention and remain receptive. A sudden inspiration to make a call, send a message, or take a small action can be the opening of one of those channels. It may not look grand or obvious, but the current of money often moves through simple, natural, everyday events. What seems ordinary to the eye may be extraordinary in spirit. Each channel is like a thread in a vast tapestry. You cannot see the entire design from where you stand, but the pattern is being woven with precision. A delayed payment may lead to a better opportunity. A closed path may push you toward something richer. When you trust the infinite, you no longer cling to the temporary. You let the flow rearrange itself without fear. Your calm expectation creates a magnetic field that draws in the right channels with perfect timing. Fear pushes the flow away. Trust pulls it in closer. Understanding infinite channels also frees you from attaching your worth to one source. If your income came from a single job and that job ended, you might once have felt lost. But with the awareness of infinite channels, you understand that the job was merely one vessel, not the source itself. The river still flows. The vessel may change shape, but the water never ceases. This shift in perception is a quiet kind of power. It removes panic, and in its place grows unshakable faith. That faith becomes a beacon, drawing new opportunities faster than before. The flow through infinite channels is often effortless once resistance is gone. Resistance can appear as worry, control, or disbelief. When you worry about how it will happen, you block the very path that is trying to open. When you try to control every detail, you create friction. But when you trust in the infinite, you let the current carry you. The flow becomes smooth, natural, and almost playful. Money can appear as if by magic, though it is not magic at all. It is the natural response of an open system to the abundance already in existence. Your words and thoughts act as instructions to this flow. When you say, "I receive money only from this source," the flow listens and limits itself accordingly. When you say, "I receive money through infinite channels, expected and unexpected," the flow stretches its arms wide and seeks every open path to reach you. The flow is obedient. It follows the shape of your belief. This is why expanding your belief expands your income. It is not about working harder, it is about opening wider. The moment your mind accepts infinite channels, your energy shifts, and so does your reality. It is not necessary to know where or how the money will come. That knowledge belongs to the larger intelligence that governs the flow. Your part is to remain certain that the channels exist and are active. Even now, as you breathe, they are moving. They are aligning people, places, and events in quiet, subtle ways that bring your good to you. The channels may appear suddenly, or they may build quietly beneath the surface like an underground river ready to emerge. Your trust is the invitation. Your certainty is the anchor. Your openness is the path. To live in this awareness is to walk through life with quiet power. It means you no longer look to one place with anxious eyes. You look in all directions with calm expectancy. You do not panic when a door closes because you know it is only one of many. You stop asking, "Where will it come from?" and instead declare, "It will come." The infinite channels are already in motion, weaving the invisible into the visible, turning potential into form. Your work is not to chase them down, but to stand ready, with your hands open and your heart wide, allowing them to do what they have always done. Flow activation activates swift manifestation, because it is the bridge between thought and reality. When expectation is set firmly, it signals to the unseen that the desired outcome is already certain. It is not a hope, not a wish, but a knowing. This knowing sends out a clear frequency that the universe recognizes and responds to without hesitation. Expectation is different from desire. Desire can exist with uncertainty, with longing and waiting, but expectation is the stillness that comes when the heart has already accepted that what is desired is on its way. It creates a magnetic pull, drawing events, people, and circumstances into alignment, as if invisible hands were arranging them with perfect timing. When expectation is pure, it has no tremor. It does not waver between belief and doubt. It stands like a bright flame that cannot be blown out. This is why expectation can create swift results, sometimes in ways that seem almost miraculous. The universe does not measure time the way the human mind does. It moves at the speed of alignment. The moment expectation is fixed, the delay begins to dissolve. The path clears because expectation does not leave room for hesitation. Doubt slows the flow like debris in a river, but expectation clears the current, allowing everything to rush forward freely. Expectation is the language of certainty, and certainty is what the universe obeys. When you expect something with your whole being, you are not waiting for it as a stranger waits at the door. You are welcoming it as a guest you know is already on the way. This changes your energy. You stop questioning when or how. You begin to act, speak, and think as if it is already yours. And because your energy has shifted, everything around you begins to shift with it. The outer world is only a mirror. When the inner state is expectation, the mirror reflects fulfillment. There is a quiet power in expectation that requires no force. You do not need to push the river when you expect it to flow. You simply stand on its bank, knowing the water is coming. This state of expectancy creates a subtle vibration, one that draws the very thing you are expecting. It is like tuning a musical instrument. When you strike the right note, other instruments around it begin to hum in harmony. When your energy hums with expectation, reality responds in kind. Opportunities emerge, doors open, the right people appear, and what was once invisible begins to take form. Many people confuse expectation with mere positive thinking, but expectation is deeper. It does not live on the surface of thought, but in the roots of belief. It is a state of being, not just a mental exercise. You can say 1,000 words of hope, but if your inner state does not truly expect the outcome, the words carry little weight. But one quiet, unwavering expectation, held in the heart, can move mountains of resistance. This is why manifestation often happens not when someone is trying the hardest, but when they finally rest in the certainty of receiving. Expectation creates an energetic pathway. It is as if you build a road with your belief, and the thing you desire travels that road directly to you. When there is no expectation, the road remains unbuilt. When expectation is strong, the road is smooth and clear, and manifestation can move swiftly. The universe does not need time, it needs clarity. And expectation is pure clarity in motion. The moment you stop questioning and start expecting, the manifestation begins to accelerate. Fear and doubt act like barriers across this pathway. They do not stop the flow completely, but they slow it down, sending the energy in circles. Expectation, on the other hand, is like lifting those barriers. It says to the universe, I am ready, I trust, I know it is done. And because the universe is always listening to the energy beneath the words, it responds to that trust. This is why expectation is such a powerful catalyst. It removes the friction between desire and fulfillment. You do not need to know how your expectation will be fulfilled. The how belongs to the infinite intelligence that moves behind the scenes. Your only task is to hold the expectation steady. If you plant a seed and constantly dig it up to check if it's growing, you disturb its growth. But if you plant the seed and trust that it is sprouting beneath the soil, it grows quickly and strongly. Expectation is the same. It is the quiet trust that the seed you have planted is already growing. It does not demand proof. It knows proof will come. When you expect something fully, your actions naturally align with that expectation. If you expect to receive, you prepare. You clear space. You speak with confidence. You move through your day with quiet assurance. This alignment between inner state and outer action accelerates manifestation even more. You are no longer sending mixed signals. Everything within you and around you points in one direction, and that clarity creates speed. Expectation is also powerful because it overrides appearances. The physical world often lags behind the unseen, like an echo following a sound. If you judge by appearances, you may falter, but expectation keeps you steady. Even when nothing seems to be happening, expectation knows it is happening beneath the surface. It does not let the outer world dictate the inner state. This is why those who expect with unshakable certainty often see results where others do not. They are not swayed by what their eyes show. They remain fixed on what their heart knows. Expectation does not require shouting, striving, or begging. It is calm, grounded, and sure. It is like the sky before sunrise, knowing the light is coming. This quiet confidence carries a frequency that reality cannot ignore. Every moment spent in expectation is a moment of building momentum. The energy gathers strength, and when the timing aligns, it appears suddenly, though it has been forming all along. Doubt can coexist with desire, but it cannot coexist with true expectation. This is why expectation must be cultivated. It grows stronger when you choose it over fear again and again. Each time you expect despite appearances, you anchor the energy more deeply. Each time you choose certainty over doubt, the current grows faster. And the more you practice this state of expectancy, the more natural it becomes, until expectation itself is your resting place. Expectation is not about control. It is not about forcing reality into shape. It is about aligning with what is already yours in the unseen. It is about claiming the outcome before it has taken physical form. It is about knowing that the moment you expected it, it began its journey toward you. The universe does not delay out of resistance, it only waits for your signal to be clear. Expectation is that clear signal, the lighthouse guiding the ship of your desire straight to your shore. When expectation is unwavering, everything bends to meet it. Time shortens, coincidences multiply, and paths align in ways the rational mind could not have planned. What once seemed distant begins to feel close, and then suddenly it is here. This is not a miracle in the sense of breaking laws. It is the natural response to an energy that leaves no space for doubt. The moment expectation takes root deeply enough, manifestation is no longer a question of if, but simply a matter of when, and that when is often much sooner than the mind believes. Resistance is only an illusion, a shadow cast by the mind that believes in limitation. It has no substance of its own. It appears real only when attention is given to it, just as a shadow looks solid when stared at, but disappears when you turn toward the light. Resistance arises from doubt, fear, and the belief that what is desired is far away or difficult to attain. But the truth beneath the illusion is that abundance flows freely and constantly. The universe does not struggle to deliver what has already been spoken into existence. It moves smoothly, effortlessly, like a river following its course. What people call resistance is simply the fog of conflicting beliefs, a mirage that has no true power, except what is lent to it through focus. The nature of resistance is slippery, shifting shapes to match whatever fear it feeds on. Sometimes it appears as delay, sometimes as confusion, sometimes as a lack of opportunity, but these appearances are not barriers, they are reflections of inner hesitation. The moment one withdraws belief from resistance, it crumbles like mist in the morning sun. The flow of abundance is never truly blocked. It is only temporarily hidden behind a veil of false perception. This is why when a person stops wrestling with their own fear, everything they desired begins to move toward them with astonishing speed. The current was always there. They had simply been standing in their own way. Resistance thrives on attention. The more one stares at the closed door, the more solid it seems. But when the gaze turns away, when the mind stops narrating stories of lack and delay, the door ceases to matter, and often another door, already open, comes into view. The power lies not in trying to fight the resistance, but in seeing through it. You do not battle a shadow. You turn on the light. The light, in this case, is awareness, faith, and the quiet certainty that the flow is real and already moving. The moment you stop granting resistance the weight of truth, it fades, because it cannot stand in the presence of conviction. Many believe they must work harder to break through resistance, pushing, struggling, forcing outcomes. But struggle feeds the very illusion they want to dissolve. It adds weight to something that was weightless to begin with. The river does not need to be pushed to flow. It flows by its nature. The universe does not need to be convinced to provide. It provides by its nature. The only task is to step out of the way, to stop clutching at the illusion. When the mind relaxes its grip, the flow returns as if it had never left, because it never truly had. Resistance often disguises itself as logic. It says, "This will take time," or "This is not realistic," or "Things like this don't happen so easily." But these statements are not laws. They are habits of thought, echoes of old conditioning. They are like dust on a mirror, obscuring the reflection of abundance but never destroying it. When you wipe away those old beliefs, even gently, the reflection appears in its full brightness. The truth has always been there. The illusion never had real power. This is why sudden shifts can happen the moment someone stops believing in their obstacles. The illusion collapses instantly because it was never solid in the first place. Resistance also feeds on the idea of control. The more one tries to manage every detail of how things should happen, the more tangled the flow becomes. Control is the soil where resistance grows, but trust is the wind that clears it away. When you trust the unseen to do its work, the need to hold on tightly dissolves. In that loosening, resistance loses its grip, because it cannot exist in a mind at ease. Ease is the natural state of abundance. Tension is the mask of fear. When ease returns, so does the effortless movement of good toward you. The illusion of resistance often builds itself around time. The mind says, "It's taking too long," and that thought creates a sensation of delay. But the flow is not governed by the mind's calendar. It moves according to alignment, not time. The moment alignment is clear, time bends, paths clear, and events unfold quickly. This is why resistance can appear heavy for weeks or months and then vanish in an instant. The illusion was never about actual obstacles. It was about the story told around them. Change the story and the resistance melts like snow in the sun. There is also a subtle seduction in resistance. It gives the mind something to fight, something to fix, something to control. It creates the illusion of being busy, of striving for change. But this busyness often only circles the same point, like a wheel spinning in mud. True movement begins not when the fight intensifies, but when it stops altogether. The moment the illusion is seen for what it is, just thought, just belief, just air, the wheel catches traction, and forward movement becomes effortless. Resistance is never conquered through more resistance. It is dissolved through clarity. It is important to recognize how the body reacts to resistance, because resistance lives not only in thought but in feeling. It shows itself as tension, heaviness, tightness, restlessness. These sensations are signals, not barriers. They are the body's way of revealing that the mind is holding on too tightly. When you soften into those sensations instead of fighting them, the grip loosens. Breathing, stillness, and quiet awareness are often enough to pierce the illusion. The flow of abundance is always just beyond that thin wall of tension, waiting patiently. Resistance has no true root in reality because reality is abundant by design. Scarcity, delay, difficulty, all these are constructs built from fear. They have no foundation except belief. When belief shifts, they vanish. This is why some can receive with ease what others struggle to achieve through endless effort. It is not that the flow favors one person over another. It is that one person sees through the illusion while the other fights with it. The flow is neutral, constant, impartial. It answers clarity, not struggle. The most powerful shift happens when you begin to treat resistance not as an enemy, but as a mirage. You do not argue with a mirage. You do not beg it to disappear. You simply walk through it, and it vanishes because it was never real. Each time you walk through it, your trust grows stronger, and the illusion grows weaker. Eventually, what once felt like a wall becomes transparent, like mist that can no longer hold its shape. This is the quiet power of knowing that resistance is only illusion. It is not something to fear, not something to fix, not something to overcome. It is something to see through, something to stop feeding with thought and emotion. When you stop resisting resistance, it loses its last hiding place. The act of fighting it gives it form. The act of ignoring it makes it invisible. Abundance has always been flowing, and the illusion cannot change that. What it can do is distract, delay, and distort, but only to the extent you let it. Once the spell is broken, the current rushes forward as though it had been waiting for you to remember what was always true. The wall was never real, the flow was never gone. The illusion only lived in the mind's shadow, and shadows disappear the moment the light returns. Abundance answers a clear inner word because the universe is responsive, not resistant. It listens not to scattered wishes but to the steady tone of certainty. A clear inner word is a declaration without tremor, a frequency that cuts through noise, confusion, and contradiction. When you speak within yourself with clarity, you issue a command that reverberates through the invisible structure of reality. The energy around you organizes itself according to the clarity you hold inside. What is blurred within remains blurred without. What is focused within becomes tangible in the world around you. Abundance flows where the signal is strong, not where it flickers. The inner word is more than thought. It is not a passing idea or a hopeful whisper. It is the soundless voice of your being when it knows what it wants and refuses to waver. This inner word does not need to be shouted or repeated endlessly. Its strength lies in its purity. Just as a single clear note can fill a room more powerfully than a chorus of uncertain sounds, one unwavering declaration within can draw abundance faster than countless scattered affirmations. It is the difference between calling and mumbling. The universe responds to the call. When the inner word is confused, tangled with doubt and fear, the response from the outer world mirrors that confusion. Opportunities appear and disappear. Momentum starts and stalls. The energy cannot find a clear direction to follow. But when the inner word is sharp like a line drawn through still water, the outer world reflects it without delay. Clarity creates speed, it creates alignment. It removes the friction that mixed signals create. The universe is not punishing when it delays. It is only waiting for a clear instruction to follow. The clarity of the inner word comes from trust. Trust strips away all the noise, leaving only the core declaration. Trust says, "This is mine," and the word rings clean and strong. Doubt tries to add layers, to question, to complicate. But the pure inner word does not need explanations. It does not need backup plans. It simply exists as truth, spoken from within. The moment this word settles into the core of your being, everything outside begins to move around it, as if reality itself is listening and responding to its direction. Your inner word is like a tuning fork. When struck with certainty, it vibrates through the unseen and causes matching vibrations to appear in the physical. Events, people, opportunities, and resources align with that frequency. It is not necessary to chase them, they are drawn to the vibration. If the word is weak or filled with hesitation, the vibration falters and the response becomes scattered. But a clear, unwavering word acts like a beacon. Abundance cannot ignore it because it is woven into the same fabric of existence. It is a law, not a favor. This is why alignment matters more than effort. You can work tirelessly while your inner word remains uncertain, and the results will reflect that uncertainty. You can also speak once with perfect clarity, and the universe begins to shift. It is not the volume of your voice but the precision of your inner tone that calls abundance forth. The inner word is not about convincing anyone, not even yourself. It is about knowing. When you know, you do not need to repeat. The knowing speaks once and leaves the echo to do the work. A clear inner word is born when the mind stops fighting itself. It is formed in stillness, when the noise of doubt fades and only the simple, quiet truth remains. This is why silence is often more powerful than endless effort. In silence, the inner word sharpens. It becomes simple, direct, undeniable. It ceases to plead and begins to declare. It is in this state that abundance responds swiftly. The moment the word is clear, the flow is set in motion, and nothing external can resist it. The outer world is only a reflection. It does not initiate, it mirrors. If the reflection looks blurred, the mirror is not at fault. It is the image within that must be focused. When you align your inner word with the outcome you desire, the mirror has no choice but to reflect it. This is not a matter of force but of natural law. Just as water reflects the sky without effort, the world reflects your inner state without resistance. Your role is to create clarity within. The reflection follows on its own. Every thought you hold carries a tone, but not every tone is clear. Many people send out mixed messages, wanting and fearing, believing and doubting, reaching and retreating. This confusion creates delay, not because the universe withholds, but because it does not receive a single instruction. A scattered inner word builds a crooked path. A clear inner word builds a straight road. When the road is straight, the abundance that is already moving toward you arrives faster, without detour. Clarity does not mean shouting louder. It means stripping away what is unnecessary. It means deciding once and standing by that decision inwardly. It means no longer negotiating with fear, no longer rehearsing old doubts, no longer giving energy to uncertainty. The pure inner word stands alone, like a single flame in the dark, and everything that resonates with it moves closer. The flame does not chase, it draws. To speak the inner word clearly, the heart and mind must agree. If the mind speaks one thing but the heart whispers another, the signal becomes fractured. But when both move in harmony, the vibration is strong and undeniable. This harmony is not forced, it is allowed. It comes when you trust your desire as already valid, already real, already answered. When the heart trusts and the mind stops arguing, the inner word emerges effortlessly. The clear inner word has no attachment to how or when. It speaks once and lets the flow do its work. It does not tug at the seed it has planted. It does not stand in the field digging up the ground to check. It knows the seed is alive, and so it lets it grow. The moment doubt tries to creep in, the inner word remains steady. It does not bend to passing thoughts or outside appearances. It holds its form like a bell that keeps ringing, long after it's struck. This is why some see swift manifestations while others wait for years. The difference is not in worth or luck, but in clarity. One speaks with a steady inner voice. The other whispers through layers of uncertainty. The universe does not pick favorites, it follows frequency. When the frequency is clean, the response is quick. When it is cluttered, the response is tangled. Clearing the inner word is clearing the path itself. Even when nothing seems to be happening, the clear inner word is at work. Its vibration moves through spaces unseen, weaving circumstances together in quiet ways. You may not witness the movement at first, but it is moving. This is why faith and clarity walk together. The clear inner word does not need constant reassurance. It trusts that the signal has been sent and the response is on its way. It does not waver each time the outer world takes a breath. When you hold a clear inner word, you become like a still center around which everything moves. The noise of the world loses its grip. The tides of doubt crash and fall away, unable to shake the certainty within. In this stillness, the flow of abundance becomes steady, direct, and swift. You no longer reach for it frantically. It comes to you, because it has heard you clearly. The call was made once, and the answer follows. The power was never in the outer noise, but in the quiet certainty of your inner voice.